It is a best of 5. Everything on the Friday night is always a best of 5. Someone said, am I the only one who thinks this is going to be easy for ByuN? Well, you can bet all your channel points, right? I think based on the prediction, I think it's going to be very close. I predict this to be slightly Reynor favorite. A, because we have a lot of Reynor fans on this channel. B, it's a BASILISK channel. And C, Reynor has historically always been great. But obviously I expect a lot of ByuN believers as well, since Reynor hasn't been mega active, especially not in the tournament side of things. I think it's close. I definitely don't think it's ever easy for either of them. ByuN might be the one who has slightly more experience speaking at this hour. For ByuN, this is just another day at the office. Reynor is probably like, God damn it, Roddy. I'll do it for you, but I'm not very happy about it. Let's see. I think it's going to be fun though. I'm excited for it. I'm always happy to see Reynor play. Very late for ByuN. It's very late for Reynor too, mate. They're literally in the same city. They're in the exact same city. It's a very big city, to be fair. Doesn't mean they're close to each other, but it's very late for both of them. They are currently going through their vetoes. As soon as they are done with it, we can hop into that first game. Will they play on the Korean server? Yeah, of course. I am on the Korean server. I was on the Korean server for the last game too. Trigger versus Solar, also both players in Korea. Our last 4 gamers tonight, guys, they're all currently in Seoul. All 4 of them. Yeah, we're not gonna make them play on NA for some mysterious reason. Like, hey, you guys want to practice? You know, we're entering the era of a lot of online tournaments. You guys want to do the BBB cross server just for fun? I think they'll both be like, no, yeah, get out of here. That's stupid. No one would ever want to play cross server if you don't have to. All right, while I'm waiting, guys, for the guys to host up, as we are getting very close. I don't know, we are waiting for something, but Reynor says hello. Sorry, Reynor was temporarily AFK, but he's back. While we wait, I can reveal to you guys the official WTL Code S trophy. Last year, we crowned ourselves the champs as BASILISK plus Showtime for WTL Code S. Now, I could have kept it in the box, but I was just way too curious, and I was very excited to receive it. So I already took a look at it yesterday, but basically on Thursday morning, I finally received the trophy for BASILISK winning the last season of WTL Code S. And I'll show it to you guys, and I think it's very awesome. I'm very happy with it. Find a nice spot for it eventually. Once everything is going, I got this beautiful black box all the way from Guangdong, China. And in this, Roddy is such a champion. And in this box, we have the official WTL Code S trophy. I think it is very cool. I like it. I can show you guys up close as well. 2 sides, they both matter. This is our front. World Team League 2024 Summer Champion. That's all me, baby. Always knew I was going to be a champ one day, guys. On the back, our BASILISK logo, the races, and our lineup: Reynor, Roddy, Cyril, Showtime, and Trigger, and some Mandarin. Shout out to SC Boy. And this one will find a very, very nice spot here somewhere. What the? Reynor whispered me saying, what the hell do I veto? Alright, Zerg's in the chat. What should Reynor veto? Moonwater is probably a veto. I think it's tricky. Yeah, the trophy is a beauty. Amygdala's not even in the mapple, mate. I removed it. This is our mapple. Eldorado, Errholm, Leylines, Moonwater, Talisman, Anomaly Found, Whispers of Gold, Hellscape, and Persephone. But Amygdala's not even in the mapple. Alright, for the main event, I think we can go dark, by the way. He said, too late. You're telling me to put on a show. I think Reynor vetoed one of the standard maps. He said, if you want a show, you'll get a show. What do we go for? We'll go for a mixture. All right. We're going to kick things off on Moonwater. Because Reynor said, you're telling me to put on a show. I'll put on a show. All right. Pink purple feels better. Yeah, I know. The all red is a bit much. My gamers are ready. I'm ready. You guys are ready. It's been a very fun Big Brain Bouts. 3-2, 3-2, 3-1. Let's see what happens in our final series of the night. Don't know what we're going to do next Friday. Very often I've got something already lined up or I've made some promises for next Friday. For this next Friday, I've gone nothing yet. I don't think a single gamer is locked in. So, got no idea. Can you talk about Stormgate box? I can, but I have literally not opened it yet myself, mate. I got it today. I took it out of like the box that it came, but it's basically Stormgate Collector's Edition. They sent it to me. It has all the autographs of the devs and people that work on the game. I think inside of it is that machine gun guy statue. Vulcan, I believe. If I think of a Vulcan, I think of a flamethrower. But yeah, I haven't opened it yet. I'll open it one of these days, but I think right now we are gaming. But that's nice. I love presents. Austin is sleeping. I gotta wake him up in an hour. Alright. At your place? They flying home today? A lot of the guys were over in Korea last week for the wedding of sort of. So RotterdaM and Irene were in Korea. Lambo was in Korea with Loof. I saw Spirit was in Korea. Drogo was in Korea. Zenster was in Korea. So, Roddy vs. Demo. I don't play on Fridays. I'm the host. I'm the organizer. I'm the caster. I don't play. Also, I don't think that band wants to play any walkthroughs right now. 1.4 million channel points against 1.2. So it's close. According to chat, it is close. Let's see, guys. For the first time in over 2 months, we are finally able to cast some Reynor again. Reynor has streamed. Has not played in anything official. That's what the Big Brain Bouts is for. Once upon a time, we had the first solo game in a while. On this Friday, the 11th of April, 2025. We can call it the minor comeback of our Italian stallion. Let's do it.
Let's get it on. Round 1, fight.
It's a little bit like Ghost River, yeah. That's what I was thinking as well, mate. I agree. It's a mixture between like Ghost River and Year Zero. But then more Ghost River. Top left side, we are looking at the main base. All of the men that's representing Basilisk, just like our Canadian Protoss was earlier. This is Reynor. Ghost River, but good. Good is a big word, but it's better. It is better. And not 50-50. Top right side of Moonwater, we are looking at the main base of Shopify Rebellion's very own ByuN. 2 world champions, of course, guys. ByuN, the world champ of 2016. Reynor, the world champ of 2022. 23 Cyril, 24 Oliveira. No, wait, 24 Clem, 23 Oliveira. 2021 world champ, sorry. 2021 world champ. It's hard to keep track of all these tournaments we've had. The years fly by. Isn't Reynor a 2-time world champ? He is unfortunately not. Reynor has won some of the biggest events out there. He won Gamers 8, not an official world championship, but he did win it over in Saudi Arabia. He made it to a finals of BlizzCon, but he did not win it. He made it to another finals of Katowice, but he didn't win that one. Reynor is a 1-time world champ. Gamers 8 was not a world championship. It was a very big event, one of the most prestigious events of the year or ever. Not a world championship. But it was amazing. Reynor, of course, won some WCS events as well. Won regionals, won season regionals. He's won a lot. but only one official world championship. Could change this summer though. Never count out to the Italian stallion. Most prestigious event next to history was BlizzCon, right? No, I would go with EWC. If the prize pool is like 200, well, the overall prize pool is like $300,000 or $400,000 bigger, but the first place is also like 150k bigger, I honestly go with EWC. BlizzCon for its day, when it was the official World Championship, was of course the most prestigious event of the year. But ever, I would go with EWC. BlizzCon 2018 was insane. What was 2018? Zero. Zero's year was insane, yeah. But it was very cool. But I always thought Yono was going to win. To me, it was kind of just the favorite showing up and winning. Reynor has opened up gasless at first. It's taken a gas right now. It is up and running. Is working with obviously a nice little worker lead. And has dropped a roach warren. Even the people who didn't watch SC2 were hyped about SC2 then. They did it once, we can do it again, mate. No, Sero won too. The Katowice that Sero won was also an official world championship. Katowice in 2022 was the official world championship, so counts, absolutely counts. Few extra Rexes being built, a double eBay on the side of ByuN. He's working with a triple orbital setup, so obviously all of this is relatively standard. Reynor, I think, will be very happy. He's had a very economic opening. He has only made a couple safety roaches now. He has not taken any economic damage yet. If anybody wants to place a betting line for an over-under of amount of games that Reynor has played on Moonwater in his life, and I was in charge of setting that betting line, I would set the line on 1 and I will pick the under. Because I think this is the first time ever that Reynor has loaded into Moonwater. I'm not joking. I can double check with him after the series, but I'm quite certain about this being the first time ever that Reynor is even aware of Moonwater existing. How are we in chat? I'm doing great, mate. I had a long Friday, a busy Friday, but I had an excellent Friday evening. The people have been kind, the love for Starcraft is there. And we've had close and fun series, so what more can I hope for? Tomorrow I've got a very fun day away from the computer plant. We're gonna have some padel. The sun will be shining. I'm gonna be a bronze god. We'll be playing with Vicky and my brother's wife, and some other farmers within Zuidland. So overall, mate, I'm doing great. No, 1 would be a push, Aerox. You can put it at 1. The line could be at 1. Obviously, if you don't want pushes, yeah, you have to put it at 0.5. But you can also have an even line, and then it's just a push. If it would be exactly 1, it's a push. If it's more, then you win. If it's less, you win. Doesn't have to be 0.5. I like to give the people an opportunity to push. She was laughing about it earlier, Stanos, but no. Vicky is a big Reynor fan. She is completely okay with me spending some extra time behind the computer. If that means that Reynor is gonna play another 95-minute series, Vicky is okay with it. But then she often says as long as he actually wins. Clam, I don't think has said anything official about Moonwater. Clem did mention that Ghost River was 50-50. Clem also doubled down on it, and he said, like, no. You know, against Zerg, okay, it was pretty good. But against Protoss, was really not that good. 50-50 or maybe Protoss favorite. I mean, we basically have two different conversations. I was just laughing about the 50-50 statement overall, because that includes TVZ. I think Clem would obviously always admit as well that Ghost River was a very good TVZ map. Just against Protoss, he didn't like it as much as some other people said that every Terran should love it. Mirrored map. It's not necessarily about the map being mirrored, because a lot of maps throughout StarCraft 2 history have been mirrored. It's more just about it being a very direct path to your opponent. Like Zergs benefit from a lot of different attack paths, and where they can pick up reinforcements, where they can run by, where they can get on top of mineral lines. And if it's basically just like I build my army, you build your army, and we meet in the middle, that favors Terran players. This map is definitely a lot less extreme than Ghost River was, though. Oh, Miro. What race do you play again, Miro? Look at this Terran propaganda in my chat. I got some Terran showing up trying to convince me that Ghost River was a good Protoss map. Every Protoss I saw died at minute 4. You get eBay blocked, you can never expand again. Unbelievable propaganda over here. ByuN is stimming and he's active with the Marines. Reynor is setting up a very sexy trademark. Reynor around. A couple of links came in from the right side. They died rather quickly, but it does allow him to close the distance to the tanks. Well, overall, I think pretty good defense so far. ByuN with a damn quick 4th base on location. Now Reynor has 9-minute hive done. Vipers on the way. That's obviously awesome for Reynor. Cannot believe that ByuN very casually just built that base on location. I guess he just never expected Reynor to mine out these minerals, and he's been right. Reynor did not mine out these minerals. Reynor forcing ByuN to pick up and disengage. What do you think are the greatest players of each race? If you mean right now, it is Clem for Terran, Max Pax for Protoss, and some people say, Roddy, not Max Pax, it's Hero. Okay, fine, it's Hero. I still think Zero Ping gaming is different than cross-server gaming. And Zerg, at the moment, you gotta give it to Serral, but I will always believe in peak Reynor. Terran is undisputed, it's Clem. Protoss, most people will say Hero, I'm aware of that. In my eyes, it's Max. When it comes to Zerg, it's Serral. Couple drones dying in the bottom left side, as the hatchery is going to fall as well. Reynor looking for the right fights, just trying to buy some time for some of these hive upgrades to come online. Adrenal glands halfway done. Protoss also Clem. In PvT you might be onto something, but not overall. Clem's Terran Clem. Clem is so good that he's the best in 2 out of the 3 races. As you guys can see, there are some lag spikes. Don't worry, the players don't have those. That is just for me. Battle.net is a little bit funky sometimes, and when I am observing games from Europe on the Korean server, from time to time there are some lag spikes. I am aware that this is frustrating for you guys, not enjoyable. It's not fun for me either, but the players don't feel them. That's the most important thing. Parasitic bomb has landed on these medevacs. Reynor is all over these Marines as well. Can the Banelings connect? ByuN displaying excellent micro. Moves the Marauder forward too. And ByuN is playing greater in this first game. Even if the supplies are still close, Reynor does not cancel the hatchery. Okay. I know there's a bunch of Widow Mines to worry about over here in the center, but game 1 is starting to look better and better for ByuN. And Reynor, I don't think he's even aware yet of this space. Look, ByuN is just casually mining off a gold with a planetary in the top side of Moonwater. Widow Mines continue to fire. ByuN looks good here in game 1 on Moonwater. Reynor drops the Hydra then. Feels like a very funny moment to drop a Hydra then, when we are losing bases, when we are not exactly cooking economically, and we do have Hive and Adrenal Glands. And I wouldn't really go for it. Medevac's a little bit far away here from the Marines. This might be a better parasitic bomb. Gets a lot of damage done and also prevents the pickup on a lot of these units. One Medevac still full though in the bottom left. Did you say ByuN is top 3 Terran? Yes? Yeah. Yes. ByuN is top 3 Terran right now. Obviously over the summer that can change. Things can go different rather quickly, but right now, yeah, I'd absolutely put my money on ByuN being a top 3 Terran. I think right now I pick ByuN over Maru, but that is temporarily. I just think right now, at this point, ByuN is probably overall a little bit stronger than Maru. But that doesn't mean that Maru cannot step it up for the summer and that we can see an absolutely beastly version of Maru at EWC. I believe in that. But I think right now I would favor ByuN. Have I been approached to cast EWC? No, not yet. It's way, way too early for that, mate. I don't even know anything about qualifiers yet. And I'm actually afraid that I might miss some of the qualifiers. But I obviously expect by the time that they start reaching out, that I'll be one of them, but no. Right now, I can safely say that absolutely no one has been contacted to cast EWC. The casters literally know as much as you guys. we don't know a lot. I expect myself to be there. But at the moment, I definitely did not get invited yet. Who is the number 2 European Terran? It's either Spirit or Gabe. Since Gabe has been playing a lot lately, I'd probably give it to Gabe right now. Reynor is working on seismic spines, but these fights, guys, are going to get more and more difficult over time. I'd be incredibly impressed. If this game is still going on, like 5 minutes from now, I'll be incredibly impressed by Reynor. He does have Adrenal glands. He's got a lot of links and things. He is... Oh, Widowmine drag. No, that doesn't really work out. Reynor is definitely battling. He's doing a good job. The Viper's still alive. Hasn't even lost the Viper yet. See, guys, I was doing that paradox thingy where, you know, you make it seem like Reynor always loses his Vipers every single fight. I started calling it the Reynor, and I did this to make sure that Reynor would no longer lose the Vipers. I was playing the long con in a very positive way for Reynor. Great Viper control so far as these two continue to battle all the way through the center of Moonwater. The lag spikes are becoming a bit more severe. Silly battle net, but... Why is Reynor still on Lynx? Because Lynx are goaded and we have Adrenal glands and we've got +2 melee and we've got +3 carapace. I mean, Reynor has been so focused on the defense that I'm sure he's aware that ByuN's got a whole bunch of bases. Like, Reynor is not reading this as a 3-base 8-Rex all-in, I'm sure of that. He's just been very, very, very focused on stabilizing and surviving, and he actually got Lurk is out with Seismic Spines, Adaptive Talents on the way right now. Nidus is close to finishing up. Reynor knows about the planetary in the top, but I don't think Reynor goes for the planetary. I think Reynor goes for the main. That's a lot of bases coming online, by the way. ByuN is going to be annoying with a Liberator in the bottom left. First Nidus attempt. This is a big moment. Let's take a look at ByuN's vision. I don't think ByuN is looking. Is ByuN looking? Maybe he already looked right before I went to ByuN's vision. Okay, ByuN did look. Pulled SCVs. ByuN is even quicker than I can switch to his camera point of view. Ghost count currently is 5. We're looking at 5 ghosts. This is cute, by the way. A couple burrowed banelings next to a Nidus. I like it. Reynor does get on top of this planetary on the top. Well, a lot of resources have already been mined out, man. It's such a stunning performance by 4 or 5 AM Reynor over here. Oh, burrowed bailing. This was... Oh my god, Reynor! This is so cool. What a play. The Nidus bait into the burrowed banelings. That is awesome. That is legitimately awesome. Well done, Reynor. I'm sure he's smiling. He also knows that I love burrowed banelings. The amount of times that I have yapped to Reynor about burrowed banelings in his life, I know that he wishes it'd be a whole lot less. What a first game, guys. 17 minutes between these two as Reynor drops the Nidus in the bottom right side. There is a command center floating over. Moonwater giving us some fireworks, and still not a single Viper has gone down. This is awesome. Legitimately very, very impressive on the side of the Italian Stallion, the world champ of 2021, as he gets in here, gets on top of a tank, drops the Parabomb, kills 11 SCVs. ByuN is honestly damn broke. We have burrowed a couple of banelings this time, but that was a scandal. Not a Nidus attempt in the back of the natural. ByuN is all over this one too. Our two gamers are putting on a show here on the Friday night. That Burrow was optimistic. It's like getting drunk on the winning mood, right? Where it's like, this worked out so well, and they're just gonna keep on doing it. But I love it. I'll never hate on it. I think burrowed banelings for Starcraft fans will forever be related to that magical Scarlet moment back then in her game against Bomber. I think that was one of these moments that made a lot of people fall in love with StarCraft and continue to watch StarCraft for a long time. And obviously throughout the next 10, 12 years, we have seen a lot of Burrowed Baneling play. These days, the die-hard StarCraft fans love to joke about Elaser, his $10,000 Burrowed Banelings. So at Gamers 8, we gave out some awards for coolest plays. And Elaser received $10,000 for a couple of Burrowed Banelings on Royal Blood. A lot of other guys, a lot of competitors in that tournament were fuming over it. But they're like, man, damn Miko, like he was fishing for it, he was looking for it. Because when Gamers 8 came to the scene, they gave out some monstrous awards, like 10,000 for the best strategy, 10,000 for the best play, 10,000 for the best game. Like, these are unheard amounts of money for StarCraft 2 tournaments in general. You get less for winning a DreamHack. Elaser won more with a couple Burrowed Banelings than some people got for winning an MLG or a DreamHack. Yeah. Elaser's like, you know what, if I can't win the entire tournament, I'll fish for a bonus. And blowing up 40 or 50 Marines of Spirit with a couple Burrowed Banes was one hell of a way to go. I still love the Burrowed Banelings after all these years. Whether we're Scarlet, her Burrowed Banelings, or Elaser, his 10k Banelings, or Reynor pulling up some Burrowed Baneling play. And I always ask for more. I think it was Classic who won 10,000 for best strategy. And the gamers were even more upset over that. Every Zerg and Terran were like, what the hell? You're gonna give a Protoss 10k for building 5 Robos? It's like, this is literally the most standard stuff ever. But Artosis was so excited over the 5 Robos. And he had never seen it before. He went on about it, and Alex kind of jumped on the bandwagon. And to be fair, it was cool, but I agree that it's just like kind of standard in a way. But yeah. Those awards, guys, they brought out a lot of feisty backstage discussions. Yeah, obviously also normal and understandable. Those are not amounts that are normally being thrown around in the StarCraft scene. I'm already very happy that I can host some awesome show matches every Friday, where we can give out $500, which I think is very appreciated by a lot of gamers. Yeah, for giving out $10,000 for awards. It's next level, right? ByuN is digging in his heels as the ghost count is rapidly increasing. We've got 12 of them now with 4 more on the way. Reynor has stolen this 12 o'clock base over at ByuN. What happened to DreamHack? DreamHack is still happening, mate. There's even a DreamHack over in India this year. There was a DreamHack in RotterdaM for a while, but I don't know if that one is happening this year. There is a DreamHack in Dallas coming up. There might even be some StarCraft over at DreamHack Dallas. Who knows? Stay tuned. Roaches, Lynx, Ravages, and everything else that Reynor has. He's strong at a base that is completely mined out. This is a bit of a meat grinder. I see a lot of circles, guys, and most of the time circles equal pain. V2. A lot of pain. Yeah, there is a DreamHack in India this year, which I think is really cool. I have never gone to India myself. I don't think they'll have a big StarCraft event. I kind of hope they do. A, because we always want more StarCraft. And B, imagine Demi lifting a trophy over in India after all these years. Wouldn't that be awesome? I think it's the first ever DreamHack in India, yeah. I think it's really cool, man. The DreamHack is still like exploring new cities, countries to go to that they had never gone to. You feel like winning this game is huge for the series? It is Moonwater though. If this was a different map, I would agree. Like starting off a best of 5 local time, 4 AM over in Korea, and you play a 22-minute game. Yeah, the first one can definitely set the tone for the rest of the series. But since Moonwater is such a unique map and is so different than any of the other maps, I think it will be less impactful than it otherwise would be. Reynor's got 9,000 minerals in the bank, 1,500 gas. That's a lot of mules. This is straight out of like one of these scenes that people use on their Elgato stream deck. You know, they press the button, all the mules come down. I think Nathaniel's had that for a while. Maybe some other Terran streamers too. The yellow submarine. The Ghost pretty far forward. The Lynx and Banes getting on top of at least a couple of them. Maybe even a few more. Just don't drink the water in India. I have the same in China, mate. I love going to China, but whenever I go to China, I always kind of get sick. It's like inevitable for me. I guess brushing your teeth in the shower is not the best idea, but I can't help it. It's the only part of the day where I ever think of it, in the morning and in the evening. Always get sick after a couple days. But I have still always enjoyed my trips, because I'm a warrior. Resources lost is 36k against 24k, so 10k in favor of ByuN. I think there are still plenty of... Man, this is so... Oh no. Poor Reynor. This reminds me of when we had Reynor against Clem reverse race. I think in the Big Brain Bouts as well. This is basically how Reynor played Terran. This is how... if Reynor was the Terran, this is how it would look. Can't help myself. Peligrosos, they're always very kind. They put these like bottled waters in the shower as well, and I was like, oh cool, I can drink this, and then I use it to drink, and then I just brush my teeth in the shower, and it very often went wrong. Don't be like me, even though you should brush your teeth twice a day, guys. It's good for you. I have to go to the dentist on Monday. Oh my god, I'm talking about this. Monday 8 a.m. guys. I have to go to the dentist. When they suggested 8 a.m., I started laughing. And then they started laughing because they knew exactly what was happening. I said, 8? They're like, yeah. I was like, well, it's very early. What is happening? It's going to be painful. I'm going to have a lot of pain. Am I streaming it? Hell no. The thing is, my dentist is very nice. I've known him for like over 30 years. He's very nice. But I also feel like he gets a kick out of causing me pain. It's like whenever I'm in like all sorts of pain, I'm like, oh, he's like, oh yeah, that hurts, right? yeah, it's a little unpleasant. Oh. And I'm like, oh. And he's like, so what about Feyenoord last weekend? And I'm like, ah. He's like, are you still doing the gaming thing? I'm like, ah. Nice guy, but honestly, I think he enjoys it. I think he truly enjoys causing me a lot of pain. Medevac gets abducted, parasitic bomb lands, double abduct on one. Woo, some of them have very precious cargo. That's at least a couple of goals going down on the side of ByuN. Reynor had enough of 26 minutes of Moonwater. This is truly the swarm. So many freaking links, so many freaking paints. Do we have enough anti-air? That's kind of the big question. We've got a lot of anti-air, enough to gun down a few of the lips, but we need more. Oh, such a strong game by Reynor. On such a difficult map. Well, obviously an unholy hour. What a strong game. 9 lips, by the way. 9 liberators with advanced ballistics on the production tab. 26-minute game. What a, honestly, already, I would say, historical edition of the Big Brain Bouts. Sweet baby Jesus. Yeah, a lot of the goals going down inside of those medevacs, the ones that were abducted, the ones that went down to parasitic bomb as well. It was a mega on the side of Reynor. Units lost resource step, still around like 9-10k, but a little bit closer than before, which is obviously a very good sign for Reynor. I mean, to be fair, the guys did know many days in advance that they would have to play at this time. It's not like I surprised them on Thursday evenings, like, hey, Friday night, Saturday morning, you want to play? Like, I always contact the gamers on Tuesday, most of the time. Once in a while, it's on Wednesday if I can't get it done, or I'm slacking, or I can't find what I'm looking for. But most of the time, they know a couple days in advance, so you can sort of get ready. How many resources left? Well, that's a little bit hard to calculate right now. What I do see is a bunch of parasitic bombs landing on a few of these liberators in the center. Circles, guys. 20 lips. Jeez. ByuN. A lot of freedom jokes to be made over here. 20 liberators on the side of ByuN. Reynor did drop 2 spires not too long ago. He's got some gas. This is the point where I really do think that getting X amount of corruptors would not hurt. What? Reynor leaves with 8? What? What? Why? Mate, we've got double spire. Why would you leave now? I know it's a long night. I know it's an unholy hour, but why are we leaving now? We've got 8,800 minerals and 4,000 gas in the bank, but Reynor apparently not too happy with the decision of letting go Moonwater sneak through. That was a bit much. Maybe a bit tilted, maybe a bit annoyed with the state of the game. Well, guys, if you guys wonder why we left, Reynor said, why the hell am I playing Ghost River at 4 a.m.? It's Ghost River, but worse. I get it, mate, but I do think we were kind of cooking. We had double spire, we had infinite amounts of money. Sure, there is a chance that eventually the ghosts get the best of us. The circles get the best of us, but with 170 supply, still some mining bases. It's okay, matey. Good luck, amigo. He sent me another message, but I will not show this one on the broadcast. This one is just between me and my boy. He said he's still ready. He's excited for the rest of the series. He is just not ready for 4 a.m. Ghost River, which is fair. You know, we're all humans in the end of the day, not a bunch of machines gaming. Yeah, Reynor is in Korea, ByuN is in Korea. Now I forgot to ask him. If he wins the series, I will ask him about Moonwater. But I am very certain that was the first time that Reynor has ever loaded into a game of Moonwater. And that's okay, and I think he did amazing. But it's probably not his cup of tea.
Round 2, fight!
Weird message, mates. Very weird message. Oh my god. Your entire history is just whining. Why are we whining so much? Guys, the year is 2025. Whining about balance, it's kind of boring. Here we go. Top right side of ley lines. We are looking at the main base of the Italian Stallion. He is down 0-1. He is down to play whatever, but not Ghost River at 4 a.m. And honestly, that's a reasonable take. This is BASILISK Reynor. Bottom left side of ley lines, we are looking at the main base of Shopify Rebellion's very own ByuN. An absolute warrior of the night. Was ready to, I think, do that for another 20 minutes. ByuN and Reynor have history with games like this. I believe, since somebody brought up the Cast the Civil War or the War Chest Team League, I think that Reynor and ByuN had a ridiculous game once on, I totally forgot the name of that map, but it looked like Reynor was winning, but eventually ByuN, he just made nothing but planetaries and circles and ghosts forever, and they got the best of it. What is the longest game that I've ever played? Do you mean like any game, or do you mean StarCraft 2? I don't have an exact answer. I mean, I'm a pretty YOLO boy. I've obviously had 40-minute games. I think I've had a 50-minute game once. Maybe like throughout 15 years, once or twice over an hour, but not a whole lot more. Like, it's not, I've never had like a fire cake mana kind of game, if that's what you're asking. Like, I would eventually just send it, mate. I'd have enough of it, and I try to either win or lose, but... Oh. He once played a 2-hour game versus Golden. Thank you to Blaze for the 24 months, and earlier we had Boss Starcraft joining us as well with 14 months. If I missed anybody else, I apologize. Just know that you guys will always appreciate it. It is Friday night. It's been a very long Friday for me. I am so ready for the weekend. Just when you know I'm becoming a bit of a more normal human being of society. Less of a 24/7 gamer and more of a functioning adult, where I was like, man, I'm so excited for the weekend. Meet people, sunshine, play some sports. It's gonna be good. But it's been a very, very fun Friday. And I'm happy to be here. I am aware of it, mate. I know that Taker has his own village. I know that he was a world traveler for a while, climbing mountains. I have a funny story about Taker and Endorphin, because maybe like I would say like 3, if not 4 or 5 years ago at this point, Taker started streaming a little bit on Twitch. And I started streaming as well. And he's like, hey, well, I was already streaming for a long time. And he's like, hey, Roddy, you want to do some Warcraft 3 with me? And I was like, oh, I'm mostly streaming Starcraft, but I did do Warcraft 3 a couple times, so I'm willing to do a couple games with you. He's like, okay, that's awesome, man. Ha, it's just like the old times. So we play a game on Lost Temple, and I win. And we play a game on Gnollwood, and I win. We play a game on Turtle Rock, and I win. We play a game on Twisted Meadows, and I win. And Taker is like, haha, this is so awesome, man. Like, it's so cool. It's just like the old days. We're just both so bad, haha. And I'm like, I mean, I'm kind of cooking you over here, bro. Like, I don't know why you're saying, like, we are so bad. Like, you're kind of bad, but I'm kind of owning. I'm reliving my glory days over here. This is not a two-way thing, amigo. But it was fun. I like Taker. He's a nice guy. And I believe he's still, like, somewhat active over here in the Twitch streets. But we've got a Reaper and 4 Hellions on the top right side. Reynor has once more gone for the castle's opening, which means we're going to skip a Zergling speed for now. And we are just focusing on getting a couple of roaches out. We are just so bad together. Together, man, we're just like so bad as a team. Like, I mean, I'm not saying I'm as sharp as I was in my prime, but I think I'm doing pretty good over here. Hello, YVC. Happy Friday, matey. Reynor, I think overall quite happy with these first 5 minutes and 30 seconds of ley lines. This is, of course, a map that Reynor has played way more often than Moonwater. Perhaps not as often as he should have at this point, but he will know it. He has seen games on it. He is no stranger to ley lines. Actually, very clean if you ask me. Killed 4 Hellions and a Reaper, lost only 2 workers. Completely fine. We do have a double Banshee without Cloak sneaking into the main base. Loses only a single drone so far. Thank you to Jim Davis MTG. Magic the Gathering? Are we Magic streaming? Thank you, Jim. Welcome, everybody. If you guys have any questions about StarCraft or what we are doing here, I will gladly answer them. I am no expert in the world of Magic. I'm a bit of a Pokemon card collector like Wardy and Kalaris. Magic I know very little about. What I do know is that we have Sam, aka Ristic Studies, over at Basilisk. And I believe that he is very beloved in the Magic the Gathering scene. I think Sam is a legend. That's all I know about Magic the Gathering. And that Day 9 streamed it a couple times. Sam is the very best of us. I've had the pleasure of meeting him a few times, mate. I think I met him in Dallas. Double Baning Nest on the side of Rain, a little mistake. Sam is just an ultra nice guy. He's really, really sweet. And obviously a great content creator too, but as a human being, like outside of the Magic stuff, he's a super nice guy. I don't know anything about Magic, but I'm a fan of Sam. The Double Baning Nest is of course a mistake, guys. Don't forget that it is incredibly late over in Korea. Reynor has looked damn good so far, but everybody makes little mistakes. This is a little frustrating for Reynor. I'm sure that Reynor wished he would have forced ByuN to pick up by now. Kind of waited maybe until Stim ran out and forcing ByuN to Stim one more time, making it a little bit more doable for the Roaches and the Zerglings to get on top of it. Using the red alert logic, Mira. I actually bought a few packs of Magic the Gathering a long time ago. When I lived over in Rancho together with Mr. Bitter and Frodan, they were kind of getting into Magic. Not ultra diehard, but they were into it a little bit. And I just had FOMO, you know. I was just that guy streaming StarCraft every day. But I was like, man, why are you guys opening packs? I don't even know anything about Magic, but if you guys are buying packs, I'm buying packs too. There's nothing worse than people buying packs around you, and you're not buying, so I bought some packs too. And Frodan and Mr. Beta said I got nothing special, but you know what? I don't know, maybe they lied. What if I got that Black Lotus thingy? They may have lied, who knows? But Reynor gets an excellent engagement here with Lynx, Banes, Ravages and Roaches, forcing ByuN to pick up the remaining units. Just like last game, I'd say Reynor is off to an excellent start. Looks incredibly good in the first 9 minutes. Yeah, maybe my friends did me dirty back then. Who knows? I kept them for a long time, but I have no idea where they are right now. But I'm sure I got nothing special. If it's anything like opening Pokemon packs, I assume I just bought like 5 packs and I got nothing. It's just fun, man. There's something magical about opening packs. Doesn't matter if it's like traditional sports cards or the WCS packs with the players back then from Starcraft. Finding parting in your pack was so cool. Opening Pokemon, opening Magic. I love all of it. It is indeed, it's a bit of a gamba, yeah. And I am a bit of a lover of the gamba, so it makes sense. That thrill of finding what you're looking for or feeling like you got lucky is just awesome. ByuN is it's a bit of a doom drop. It's not his entire army, but it is 4 medevacs, guys. 4 freaking medevacs full of marines and a Widowmine in the mix. This is going to be very difficult for Reynor. This is not something that you just click into. There's a Widowmine in the mix as well. Friendly fire. Yes, Bailing connections. Excellent. This actually went incredibly good for Reynor. Now Reynor, his Vipers are in a dangerous spot. Just like Moonwater, Reynor does an excellent job of keeping them alive. Cracks those Widowmine shots on top of the Marines and Marauders too. Say game 2 so far, not all Reynor, but it's looking incredibly good for our Italian Stallion. It is important though that we don't fall into that trap of defending forever. Now, at this point Reynor is waiting for key upgrades to come online, like a Adrenal Glands. And once that is done, he's probably willing to be a bit more aggressive. Maybe gather a bit of a gas bank. Ooh, bit of mine. Excellent split by Reynor. Still battling in the center of the map as well. I wonder if Terrors will affect Pokemon cards. Maybe? I don't know. I guess that depends where you live. They've already gone up. I believe, going by that logic, we've already had Terrors on Pokemon cards for a while. The last few sets have been absolutely ridiculous price-wise. Like 2, if not 3 times as expensive as things before. So maybe that has already been happening in the world of Pokemon, mate. They're buying up everything. Currently, Reynor has 116 Zerglings. And of course, 33 Banelings, to be precise. Reynor is a Red Bull athlete outside of being a very proud and happy Basilisk member. And of course, he is a lover of mechs. As he should. The GOAT. Goats attract goats over here. 4 marine drop on the top side of the map for ByuN. Reynor is, I feel like, sharpening the knives, gearing up for an attack, but not quite willing to pull the... Uh-oh. Pulling the trigger. Don't do it, Reynor. I'm gonna have to bully you for another year, mate. Marines and Marauders, is that a kill? I don't know. It was a last minute cancel. Reynor does have a bit of surround. ByuN definitely did not expect that many units from the left side. The Vipers come in from the bottom right. Parasitic Bomb. A little bit late there on the retreat, I would say, on the side of ByuN, but the tank on the high ground was monstrous. And we do have a double drop in the bottom right side. Man, these guys are gaming. Reynor is going to try to burrow a few drones, but it's not quite good enough to save most of them. Reynor's got the money, but ByuN is absolutely winning the fights right now, winning the engagements, picking up bases. Great stuff coming out of the man of the Shopify Rebellion here. On the Friday evening for me, Saturday morning for our gamers. Thank you, Dave, for the biddies. This was impressive by ByuN. I think Reynor's start was damn good in this game. Reynor had a very good setup for a while, great map awareness, great map presence. But was so focused on just defending that ByuN kind of clawed his way back into it and starting to find real victories now. Rather than keeping Reynor busy or distracted, ByuN is starting to find some real victories. Corrupt is banned? Absolutely not banned, mate. No unit is banned. I mean, if Reynor wants to go without Corruptors against a couple Libs, I'm okay with that. Once we are looking at like Moonwater scenarios with 20 plus Liberators, then yeah, please get some freaking Corruptors. Parasitic bomb damage does indeed not stack. 33 Banes morphing at once. I won't do it again. Kinda want to. I saw even Tate McRae did it on one of her concepts. I don't know much about Tate McRae, but apparently I'm a fan. Max taking over first EDM festivals and now taking over pop festivals too. What a guy. Well, it's such an annoying spot. It's kind of a funny camera angle now with this massive beam that is making our vision blurry. That's something I think we're very familiar with as Starcraft 2 observers. Reynor has gone down one of the Liberators. Can't quite find the second, but... Good a minute mark. Oh, a couple Liberators just chilling over here in the bottom side of the map. That was funny, mate. I enjoyed it. 4 command centers on the way at once. Ooh, for ByuN, excellent split up there by Reynor. Do we have Burrow? Yes, we do have Burrow. Some great Burrow bailing moments in the previous game. Not a whole lot of it yet over here on ley lines. Seven Libs, 6 Widow Mines, 10 Ghosts, 20 Marines. Reynor has a little bit of everything, mostly Banelings. We've got 42 of them gearing up for a massive attack. Did ByuN leave any Widow Mines behind here? No, Reynor has actually kind of avoided the circles. So this is completely blindsiding ByuN. Now ByuN does still have a lot of units in the bottom right side, but this will always hurt. That is minus 20 SCVs are going to burrow a few Banes as well. I don't know if ByuN saw that. So you did see Reynor burrow banelings. They're still battling over here in the center. So Reynor takes out the 9 o'clock, but ByuN takes out one of the center bases of Reynor. Still have, wow, that is a 2 HP medevac with 2 Marauders and 3 Marines inside of it. Whoever was joking earlier about Vicky being upset with me that Reynor was playing, and that means that I was going to be busy forever, was truly onto something. One Hydra, one shot is all it takes. Falling in love with the Hydra. The possibilities, no. One shot, guys. Widowmine also sings one shot is all it takes. We have 3 Vipers. Reynor has not lost a single Viper throughout this game, and he also didn't lose a single Viper in the first 50 minutes of Moonwater. Honestly, his Viper management has been as good as I've ever seen it. I think Reynor has done a tremendous job with them. This is because they're often fighting at 2 or 3 different locations, but... Seismic, no, what is that? Hydra Dash? No Lurker then, guys. Well, we're going for Hydra Dash over here. Plus 2 missile attacks and Hydra Dash. I am starting to get a tiny bit worried though for Reynor. We need either a higher drone count or some more bases. Now, sniping this base is obviously fantastic, and preventing these additional command centers from coming online is fantastic. And ByuN's got the yellow submarine over here in the center. And like Reynor trying to defend this center base. Bit of a pipe dream. 17 Liberators. Oh my goodness.
Justice reigns from above.
17 freaking Liberators. Uh-oh. Reynor has a few links on the other side of the map. There is a bigger fight happening over here in the center as ByuN is still pushing through the top. Reynor finds a tiny bit of an opening. I don't know if this kind of a game can ever really go in your favor as they lose another base. ByuN has done a 10 out of 10 job. Reynor is now truly trying to create a lot of chaos. This is not really working. We didn't really get into the national. We didn't get into the main. Killing 31 SCVs is serious business. ByuN is like, oh no, I only have 13 libs left. Let me fire up 6 more immediately. I mean, they're both playing at an exceptionally high level, especially given the circumstances, given the local time over in Seoul, South Korea. I'm starting to believe this is looking better and better for ByuN. This is like, there's not that overwhelming amount of creep. Reynor is not getting any of these corner bases anytime soon. The bases that Reynor is still currently working with are obviously going to run a little bit low on resources. If Reynor wants to tie things up, it's gonna have to happen sooner rather than later. This has some good potential. A lot of links in the natural Viper activity in the center of the map. Here we go. No mules to be killed this time. Maybe a planetary. That should be at least one dead planetary. Can we make it two? One Widow Mine gets a good shot of down the Hydras. Reynor does get both of the center bases. I mean, this was expensive, but he gets both of them. He was the one who was working with a slightly larger bank. What a series, man. I mean, 47 minutes of TVZ at this point, and honestly, it should have been more if Reynor would have just stuck around on Moonwater. But these two guys are truly giving us something to remember. On the Friday night for me, and Saturday morning for them. Only a 6,000 difference right now. That's really not that bad for a Zerg. Of course, ByuN has been quite rich from time to time, but 6k is really not that bad. 27 against 33 in total. Things look, let's say, slightly up again for Reynor. ByuN has only 300 gas. Reynor's got 0 gas income as we speak. That is perhaps problematic. Could saturate bottom right. Can take these. Like, it's something he can work on. It almost feels that Reynor is living that DJ Khaled meme here a little bit, where he is suffering from success and he's, oh, what the hell is even that? That's an expensive rally. Sweet baby. You don't see that very often. Reynor's like, man, Christmas came early. 4 ghosts in the middle of absolute nowhere, get surrounded by lings and die. Earlier, that was the rally point of the Liberators, by the way. As Reynor gets on top of this base as well on the top left side, but Lings tries to sneak a few more Lings into the main. Depots can no longer be raised. This is nice, by the way. Don't forget that ByuN doesn't have too much gas. Maybe build a couple of Marines. Can these Lings in the main base pick up a ghost? Yes, that is the first ghost. No second ghost. Reynor in the center of the map. Docks, arrow bombs, all of it and then some. Yeah, what I want to say is that whenever you kill this many SCVs, obviously you're doing a good thing because you kill a lot of SCVs. The bad thing is that the Terran army just grows bigger. You're not looking at like, oh, is this a 110 supply or 120? It's like 150 plus army supply. It's so difficult to deal with. But most of the time, if you clean it up once, it's forever. Yeah, that is that suffering from success. You kill 50 SCVs, awesome. Now ByuN will have 26 Liberators. There's a lot of lag spikes happening. I don't know, maybe one of the casters, but the players I'm sure are not feeling it. I think it's just Battle.net Korea acting up a little bit. It's obviously frustrating, guys, I apologize, but nothing we can do. This is just the state of watching Starcraft over from Europe on the Korean server. But players are not suffering from it. And that's the most important thing. The funny thing is that there is still so much left to mine on this map. Minerals, gas, it doesn't matter. We're only 23 minutes in, but there is still so much left to mine. Reynor, by the way, still has not lost a Viper. He's got 7 Vipers now indeed in total. He did kill a lot of ghosts, but the ghost count is 10. So 10 ghosts against 7 Vipers. Legitimately ultra impressive that Reynor has not lost a single Viper in a 24-minute game. Can no longer bully him whenever a Zerg sends the Vipers forward and they die. I think after this series, guys, we are no longer allowed to call it pulling a Reynor. To be honest, we never really were. Reynor was not exactly known for donating Vipers. It was just funny. But he's doing such a good job in keeping them alive that I just feel bad about it at this point. Unnecessary roughness. 110 Zerglings, 18 Hydras, 19 Banelings. Abducts will land. They've been playing for almost an hour at this point. Unbelievable. Gamers truly be gaming, eh? No matter the time of the day. Parasitic bombs, Hydras going forward. A lot of the libs will fall. There are still 9 libs remaining. Reynor has a couple of units getting on top of this 9 o'clock base as well. More SCVs fall eventually. Obviously, beyond his lack of SCVs is going to be an issue. Does kill one of the center hatcheries. And it's just coming down to the wire. They're both, honestly, rather broke. But the beautiful thing is there are still so many resources left on this map. Like this base completely untouched. This base pretty much untouched. This base completely untouched. It's like a low eco late game scenario, but there's actually a whole bunch of treasures left on the map. I cannot believe that Reynor did not lose one Viper in a 25-minute game of ley lines. Where he's been building Vipers since what feels like minute 9, 10, whatever it was. I cannot emphasize on how impressed I am by that. It's inevitable that you're supposed to lose 1 or 2 against the sniper. It goes forward, was out of energy, whatever other things are more important. There's the Lings are trying to push their way through a line of Marines, Marauders, and it goes. And the Terran units hold ByuN with 169 army supply. Keeps that base in the top left side alive. And this is where Terran can get some real value from these orbitals being able to fly. Time to fly one over, ByuN. Just land it over here, drop a couple of mules, who cares? Starting to look like perhaps it is going to be a 2-0 lead for the men from the Shopify Rebellion after all. Reynor does still have units. We don't mind, does not fire again. Oh, that's another kill on the center base for the second time in what feels like 2 or 3 minutes. One of the hatcheries gets picked off. Reynor has Lings and Hydras at the bottom. He is going to try to surround the planetary in the top left. Go get it. Do we get any of the medevacs? No, we don't. Well, maybe we do. No, we don't. Uh-oh. I'll be honest, actually, he had to kind of wipe the floor with this army. I feel like Reynor is going to send it one last time with everything he has in the center. It is a single planetary, blinding clouds, parasitic bombs, Widow Mines 5. But Reynor cannot really keep this up. ByuN is just a little bit too rich. And these trades are so much more expensive for Reynor than they are for ByuN. The thing is, the units lost resource step does not even look that bad. Like losing 10-11k more as a Zerg in a 27-minute game is not supposed to be that bad. Yeah, since ByuN has mined more than a Terran perhaps was supposed to, or Reynor has mined less. The truth is somewhere in the middle. The trades haven't been that atrocious. It kind of seems that ByuN is going to have a little bit too much here in the end. Look, does Reynor have any? Well, he still has 6 Vipers left. The map is not mined out. It is nowhere near mined out, so it's not like every single abduct is going to hurt or could make a difference. And ByuN is chilling. More circles, more bases that fly over. ByuN is kind of chilling. Reynor will pick up a few more SCVs. Has killed 101 SCVs, by the way, in this game. Lost 77 Bailings. Almost 1,000 Zerglings have gone down, and 12 hatcheries. ByuN has just done such a tremendous job in rebuilding everything over and over again. And after 28 minutes, it is ByuN who gets the job done. 4-digit losses on the side of the swarm when it comes to the Zergling department. Reynor displayed some impeccable Viper control for the longest time. Perhaps there could be even more activity, but I think he did a really good job with it. Just ByuN just doesn't die tonight. Where in the past we've seen a lot of games like this and ByuN looks fun and explosive and crazy, but eventually there is that tipping point. Tonight there is no tipping point. ByuN just does not die. Alright, this has been 1 hour of non-stop yapping, guys. I'm gonna take 1 minute for myself, and by the time that I come back in Game 3, Reynor ByuN main event coming up. Normally we don't take breaks in the middle of series, but these have been some very long games with a lot of action, so I'll be right back. 2-0 lead for ByuN, but we ain't done yet. Alright, I went to the... I know the game has started. Guys, easy.
Game paused.
Guys, can I get some water after 1 hour of yapping? Is that allowed? Is that legal? Can I go to the restroom after a 1 hour series? Yes, we are live. The game is literally paused. It's okay. Relax, guys. It's all good. The round 3 is coming up. It is starting. We haven't missed anything. No proxy racks. The boys have not been pulled. It's okay. We're good. I think this was maybe the moment where Reynor had to wake up his guest. Because I think he mentioned earlier that Harstem was at his place, and perhaps Harstem and Irene are traveling back today from Korea to the Netherlands, so maybe his alarm went off, maybe he had to wake them up. Here we go, round 3, Big Brain Bouts, main event number 93. It's been a bit of a marathon edition, but we love it. Let's hope for 3 more games.
Round 3. Fight.
In the bottom right side, he has gone hedge first on Whispers of Gold in the bottom right side. Nothing crazy, nothing weird. We haven't missed anything. This is the Italian stallion, Reynor. And in the top left side, we're looking at the main base of our Korean Terran, the world champ of 2016, playing a phenomenal series. Representing the Shopify Rebellion, 1 map away from getting a big W on the Friday night or Saturday morning for him. It is ByuN. What if it goes to 5 games and it takes 2.5 hours? I'm all for it, mate. I'm ready. We can do 3 more 25 to 30 minute games. If Reynor wins, I'll be very happy. If we go for 2.5 hours more and ByuN wins, it's like, okay, I'm happy for Starcraft. I'm happy for ByuN. All good. Pretty sure Amazon has to have the desk chair toilet come. I think I'll pass, mate. If it ever comes to that, I will pass and I will have to find a different passion in life. But you never see me participate in those activities. Absolute warriors, both of them, for playing games like this. We've obviously seen plenty of guys play games at 4 or 5 a.m. Like Starcraft 2 gamers are no strangers to playing to the early hours of the morning, but playing at this level and pushing each other this hard, I will always find it remarkable and fascinating. At the risk of being roasted later, why would you be roasted for that? I think a lot of people hope Reynor wins the map. Even if you're a ByuN fan, you probably hope that Reynor wins the map, because that just means you get to see more of them. They have both played incredibly well. It's been a great best of 5 so far. Oh, that's okay. We lose the Creep to War, but we get the Reaper. Can we roach all in ByuN? I think it depends on the map, and it also depends on the reach that we have on ByuN. Not like ByuN is playing a whole lot of Widowmine openings, right? So, don't know about that. Reynor has a couple of very cheeky Zerg builds up his sleeve. The Queen Ling build I enjoy quite a bit, that he showed at EWC. I think he maybe used some version of it over at Katowice as well. Yeah, I haven't seen any Ultras in the series. And we did see a Great Aspire, but I don't think we got to see a single Broodlord either. I think we had Lurkers with Seismic Spines at one point. The Bold Viking, guys. Still around after all these years. One Viking to hunt down some Overlords. So when it comes, somebody mentioned ByuN his wrist issue. ByuN has said quite a few times publicly, and his team as well, that ByuN his wrist issues are mostly when he's not at home. If ByuN goes to an offline event, that's where it happens a lot more often, and it could be a little bit more of a mental problem rather than a physical problem. But ByuN has also said this in the past. When he plays at home, he pretty much never really has any issues. He's just chilling, he's comfortable, he's relaxed. And they've even sent him to a doctor or someone who is an expert in this kind of stuff, and they couldn't really see anything that's wrong with him. So it mostly seems to be a mental issue. That maybe the pressure of being at an offline event and nerves and expectations make it all feel a lot more intense. But when ByuN is at home, he never really has any issues. A lot of queens over here in the center of the map for Reynor. He's got 9 queens in total, and he's got 6 of them over here. Does mean that maybe we're slightly more vulnerable against that Liberator being annoying than we should be, but double Evo Chamber up and running on the side of the Italian Stallion, +1 melee, +1 carapace. Yeah, I mean that is what I meant, obviously, Jimmy. But at home, it doesn't seem to be much, if any, of an issue for ByuN. This is something he said, something his team has said as well. He should be fine. I think being up 2-0, playing well, don't think anything is bothering him at this point. Yeah, the creep spread is excellent so far here by Reynor. Perhaps the best it has been. We have 8 Banelings as well, so I feel like we've got an answer for these Hellbats. The Marines stim forward, Queens have energy. One of the Queens does get picked off, the second Queen falls. Reynor looking for the right engagement. So far, excellent micro, I think, by ByuN. And Reynor obviously doing whatever the hell he's capable of doing without Baneling speed. I think it's been okay. Very quick pull on the drones in the main base. Extractor has dropped to half HP. One slow Bane actually connects here. Not sure why ByuN decided to stick around for that long. The upgrade lead on the side of ByuN is obviously quite nice with this opening. Reynor probably wants to avoid the all-out battles here for a little bit. He's not too far off of having +1 melee and +1 carapace. We have Baneling speed, and then especially on 3, we should always be safe. Green count still looking quite okay. We got 7. ByuN has dropped the 4th command center. These rocks still being up is actually kind of nice for ByuN. A long time ago, Diablos, there was this meme, right, of somebody whining about infestors, but calling them investors. It's like the little infestor in-game animation, carrying a little suitcase and a suit and a tie. That is a meme that lives rent-free in my head. The investors are kind of scary. Couple of the links getting picked up. The Sport Crawler gets picked up as well. This is very annoying for Reynor as he is forced to move those drones away from the low ground. ByuN guns down another Spore. One good Baneling connection there towards the tail end of that drop. But strong start by ByuN. 9 minutes and a couple seconds into Whispers of Gold. ByuN definitely finding some good damage already. Reynor does have 103 Zerglings on the map. It's a serious amount of Zerglings. Now, they don't have adrenal glands, obviously. We are nowhere near high tech. We don't even have an infestation pit yet. Baneling. Getting some connections. Tiny bit of friendly fire as well on the side of the Widowmine. First official series for Reynor in over 2 months. The last one was on the 7th of February against Hero Marine. Reynor looked incredibly good in that one. Got a convincing 3-0 in the end. Oh, tries to drag the Widowmine shot there away with one Zergling, but ByuN found the target he was looking for. And that means that this Widowmine kills 20 Zerglings with a single shot. Reynor using the hold position micro there, but it backfired as the Widowmine already locked on a much better target. Infestation pit now 70% done as ByuN sets up another drop. This is where killing those Spore Crawlers earlier really helps. our Korean Terran players. He unloads a grand total of 32 Marines in the main base of Reynor. Reynor has some links here, but it's hard to battle this many freaking Marines. With the banelings on trip, it's gonna be okay. Reynor's also thinking about a big counter. Another decent Widowmine connection. 7, not fantastic, but it's okay. And Reynor decides to not pull the trigger on the other side of the map. Hive Tech gets fired up, Lurker then gets dropped immediately, this time in the natural. I mean, the creep is still fantastic on the side of Reynor, despite the fact that ByuN has done a good job in trying to contain it, trying to push it back a little bit. Reynor just had so many active creep tomies. And he's still working with a lot of vision, and he's obviously working with that movement. Does move a couple of the banes forward, trying to activate some of the Widowmine shots. Still plenty of mines left. And they're waiting for the big explosions, but they're never really arriving over here on the side of... Okay, that last one was good. I think Reynor did a very good job in avoiding some of these catastrophic Widowmine hits early on. There is always one mine, eventually, that will get the connection Terran players look for. Ghost Academy now dropped on the side of ByuN, who is comfortably mining off 4 bases, has to be said. Hasn't really lost any SCVs yet in this game. 0. Lost 14 Widowmines, killed 8 drones, lost 0 SCVs. Reynor does get a nice surround here with his Lings and Banes and a couple of Hydras. And ByuN all over this bottom left side base, forces a cancel. Reynor is quick to cancel this time. Seismic Spines on the way. Perhaps Reynor's best shot of getting one on the board here is that first moment where he can show up with Lurkers, Seismic Spines, Adaptive Talents, and try to just force ByuN to take some absolutely awful fights. ByuN is so aggressive right now. Reynor does an excellent job in keeping this base safe. One queen does go a bit too far ahead, but ByuN can't run into 4 Lurkers. It's too much. Reynor looking good in the supply. Seismic Spine's about to come online. Maybe move the Lurkers a tiny bit. Lurkers can shoot up because he's got vision. Vision from the queens. Vision from the creep towards Widowmine. Pretty good. Reynor does look like he's working with a silly amount of units here. The soup lies? I don't think the soup really does lie. Like, Reynor is in a good spot, but now it's just so important that we do something with this good spot. But that's where it becomes difficult. Taking good fights in your main base or on creep or on the edge of creep is one thing. Taking good fights while attacking the Terran up a ramp way off creep is often a whole different ballgame. Upgrades are indeed quite a bit in favor of ByuN. Reynor does not have a Adrenal Glance. It's the first time in the series that he didn't fire it up immediately, and with the amount of money he's sitting on it, oh my goodness, that hurt. The second one not that bad, but the first one was monstrous. I kind of feel that Reynor just forgot Adrenal here. Obviously something that could happen if we're playing video games at 5 AM, but he is still sending it. That is a crazy amount of banelings. The Lings will get on top of the SCVs. Hydras are looking to gun down either a medevac, but maybe even the orbital. Won't get the orbital. Not a bad attack so far by Reynor, and he obviously preserves a lot of these units, so that's very nice. Would love Adrenal. Reynor morphs 11 additional Lurkers. Fires up 7 Banes as well. ByuN definitely somewhat blind at this point. He's got a Widowmine. But basically only really sees his mining bases. Makes it very difficult for ByuN to predict where the next attack of Reynor will be coming from. And often there is more than one attack. Oh. Smells like a reverse sweep. I take it. Would make for a legendary late Big Brain Bouts, but I'll take it. Reynor now aware of the fact that he did not get Adrenal Glands earlier, so it's on the way. 15 minutes into this game, 15 Lurkers, 84 Lings, 14 Banes, couple Hydras. It's very difficult for ByuN right now without indeed X amount of tanks or a whole bunch of them. Like, you got 14 goals. And if the ghosts are in a safe, protected spot, then they can just get in range, lock on target, fire a couple snipes, it's all good. But right now I think there is just a little too much happening. Reynor's doing a great job in creating chaos. That was an insanely big Widowmine connection. 24 kills on that Widowmine. Lurkers applying more and more pressure on this planetary, as obviously the triangle has been forced to temporarily lift up. ByuN is kind of keeping it together, but you can also see that even ByuN is struggling here in making all the correct choices, having very clean, forced to use a couple scans here, is still not mining of this base. Did he lose? No, that was a factory. Lost the factory, no orbital. That's a lot of SCVs. I'm very annoyed with these lag spikes over on Battle.net. Once more, guys, the players do not feel them. They're only visible for me and maybe for Indy and TKL, but it's just a bit frustrating. It kind of ruins the flow of these games a little bit. Starcraft is such a beautiful game and it runs so smooth. That's just the way it is with the Battle.net server sometimes over in Korea. 4D SCVs going down is a serious number. It also means that ByuN, his army supply, is reaching critical levels. 130 army supply at this point for our Terran. Reynor has a few Lings and Banes above this army. There are Widowmines in the mix. I mean, one terrible fight, and Reynor could also be forced to tap out. Reynor is looking really, really good here on Whispers of Gold, but he's definitely not there yet. He's done a phenomenal job in shutting down the economy of ByuN and finding damage, denying bases. He also still needs to be very careful because ByuN, his army, is freaking large. Looking very good for the Italian Stallion, but too early to call it game over. A few of the other games also look very good for Reynor. What Reynor has done incredibly well this game though is like being so freaking annoying with these lurkers. Running them deep behind enemy lines and then splitting them up in situations where it's never easy for ByuN with just a single scan. It's often 2 if not 3, 4 scans. Makes it so annoying for a Terran to deal with all of this. ByuN has 14 ghosts, 2 libs. I mean, it's not a dream. I mean, the 14 ghosts is awesome, but only 2 liberators, and the rest of it is basically pure bio with a couple Widowmines. Not the kind of army that you comfortably march with to the other side of the map and stand in the middle of 5 Zerg bases. $111 Zerglings on the side of Reynor. Silly amount of links. Perhaps one fantastic fight is all it takes for Reynor. This could be that fight, as ByuN did not have vision up that ramp, so he saw this army coming rather late. Reynor still splitting his units. All the other units are going to come in from the top right side. What will ByuN do? Is he going to try to load these units in medevac to really try to stand and fight? It is starting to look like he says, I'll stand and fight, and somehow a lot of the Terran units survive. Honestly, I kind of thought it would go a little bit better for Reynor. Reynor does get the orbital. That's wild, man. That looked like such a good Zerg engagement. Looked like a fantastic surround. And the Terran units just kind of stood there under the effect of the medevacs. And somehow turned it into an okay-ish fight. Doesn't mean that ByuN is now suddenly winning, because the rest of the game hasn't quite changed, but it felt like a beautiful engagement by Reynor. Perhaps didn't quite get rewarded in the way that he felt like he should. Reynor doesn't have that much money in the bank either. Has a lot of bases, has way better income. Does not have crazy money. Couple snipes are landing. Baning count currently only 6, 15 additional banes on the way. Widowmine shots are so-so. Pretty decent, not fantastic. Excellent hot pickup there by ByuN, saving a couple of these ghosts. They are just gaming tonight, guys. Our gamers are in the mood to putting on the show. Like, not a single game has been shorter than 20 minutes so far between them. And it's not been a turtle fest. It's been non-stop trading, battling, run-bys, multitasking. Pretty freaking wild. +3 melee has been on the way for Reynor for a while, but it just takes a long time. 8 more lurkers on the production tab. Lings, Banes. I mean, this is a great Zergling counterattack. Reynor obviously needs to be very, very careful against the main army. Bros a lot of the lurkers. Ooh, a couple good shots there. Seeing Terran units fly through the skies is always a good sign as a Zerg when you know that you've done a crazy amount of economic damage as he jumps on the army from 2 different angles, parabombs, and with that sends it to game 4. No 3-0s tonight, guys. A proper night of video gaming in the Big Brain Bouts and no 3-0s. Every single game between these two has gone past the 20-minute mark. 26, 27, and 21. Excellent game by Reynor. Not sure what maps are left. I assume that we're gonna get 1 or 2 more funky maps. Vicky's Reynor prophecy is real. Vicky came down earlier. She said she had it. She's hungry. And she's just going to eat. She cannot wait for me. She said it's always the same with Reynor. I was like, yeah. But hey, it's a good show. It's a good show. People are happy. Basilisk happy. I don't know if Reynor is very happy with me asking him to play while he's in Korea. But it's been over 2 months since our boy played an official series. I kind of felt like it was about time. I don't know what she got. I'm sure she got something. I got nothing. But we'll make up for it after the Big Brain Bouts. Hellscape. What do you guys think is the over-under of games that that Reynor has played on Hellscape? I'll set the line at 1.5. ByuN is requesting a break as well, which I think is understandable. Unholy Hour and a few very intense games. I'm trying to load into the lobby and I just can't load in. I don't know what's happening. I'm stuck. Why am I stuck? I don't know. Reynor says it doesn't work. Yeah, it doesn't work for me either. Now Reynor is in. I'm gonna have to wait. Okay. Casual 1 minute load time. All good. Took a minute, guys, to load into the lobby, but Battle.net has blessed us with a lobby on Hellscape. Indy also says that, yeah, sometimes it takes over 40 seconds for him. It's supposed to be 1. It's all good. This is the future, guys. In the year 2025, they keep on surprising us. And Battle.net truly is that box of chocolates, and we never know what we are going to get. So we'll just wait for ByuN. As soon as ByuN is ready for game 4, we'll hop on into it. This is a map where I wouldn't be mega surprised to see maybe a multiple Reaper opening. Just an indie company. Life's been tough over at Blizzard. It's been fun. Looking into this, I was like, what the hell's on my desk? Honorary souvenir. I'll definitely count my WTL trophy as an honorary souvenir. Alright, ByuN is ready. I'm ready. Have I tried Wildgate? No. I know it's one of the Dreamhaven games, right? I saw that Alex was playing it with Mixu and they got Dustin Browder, which I think is really cool. But no, man, I have absolutely no time to dive into new video games at the moment. There are so many things for me to take care of, and I'm already happy if I can find a couple hours to stream and play the games that I'm familiar with, whether it's Starcraft or F1 with my friends or Macabellum. I have no time to explore anything else that is new. But the day that we breach into a different scene, that we expand into different esports, I will obviously play some of that. Whatever game or scene that may be, because I obviously like to have a good feel for whatever I'm watching, whatever I'm cheering for, and what we are looking for. But I don't think Wildgate is #1 priority at the moment, but Seems like it's a pretty exciting game, and it's a beautiful game as well.
Round 4. Fight.
Will there be a tournament in Saudi Arabia this summer? Yes, that will be our official World Championship. Here we go, guys. Bottom left side of Hellscape. We're looking at the main base of the World Champ of 2016. Shopify. Rebellions. ByuN. Top right side of Hellscape. We are looking at the main base of our Italian stallion spending the, I want to say summer, but it's not quite summer, right? What are we? Spring? Over in South Korea. He's been there for, let's say, approximately a month now, maybe 5 weeks. And he obviously continues to stay for a little while longer. He's happy. He enjoys that Korean lifestyle. This is Reynor. From my understanding, OR, Wildgate is a lot like Sea of Thieves over in space. And then instead of pirate ships, it is spaceships. I've never played a Sea of Thieves once. I have seen Loco stream it. It looked very beautiful. I know Colaris loved that game. But that's literally as far as my knowledge goes. I don't think those kind of games are for me, but it does look very beautiful. It did look very beautiful when I saw a presentation. Well, I probably won't be playing it anytime soon. When it comes to the Dreamhaven games, you guys know I am a Mechabellum fan. I enjoy that Mechabellum. I sneak in a couple games whenever I can. Sometimes I have to wait for, I don't know, 40, 50 minutes for something to get done. Sneak in a couple games when I'm not streaming. Sometimes I'm happy, sometimes I'm fuming. That has been my main source of entertainment. I'm a Mechabellum fan, name every unit. The thing is, I probably could, Ravi. We've got a Reaper Fast Expand, but if you want, I can give it a shot. I have to go in order though, otherwise I'm gonna forget something. Fang, Crawler, Arclight, Marksman, Mustang, Steel Ball, Wasp, Phoenix, Rhino, Hacker, Sledgehammer, Sabertooth. What am I forgetting? Obviously the big ones, but I'm trying not to jump too quick. Stupid air units. So not Wasp, not Phoenix, but the other one, Phantom Ray. Hackers we already mentioned. Vulcans, Fortress, Melting Points, Abyss, War Factory. No, I'm forgetting one or two. Forgetting there. Tarantula, I forgot. Yeah. Alright, I'll move on. Love to keep going, but yeah, I forgot the Tarantulas. That is one that I honestly forgot. The rest I've got no time for. ByuN forgot to save his Reaper, guys. That is a bit of a mistake as well. Forgetting your Reaper. Hounds, by the way, sorry. I did not see chat, but suddenly thought of the Hounds. That was a mistake. Should have mentioned those earlier. Typhoons. Yeah, but those are not always. You can't always select them. They're optionary, right? Typhoons and the little fire trucks and the Farseer, you can't always pick them. You need to have a specialist for it. So. Or a card drop, which I don't know if that counts. Of course, Wraith, the Flying Donut. Overlords, aka the boats. But yeah, well, too many units. But I would know all of them. If I had time, I did not mention Scorpion. I stopped after the Phantom Ray. Because ByuN lost his Reaper, guys. I was distracted. I have also did not mention the Stormcaller, that's true. Stupid artillery. That is one I should have mentioned. Alright, we're moving on. I could, but it's been a long day. Little fire truck. Fire Badger, I know it's the official name. I got cooked by them today. Literally. Armory is done on the side of ByuN, guys, and if the armory is done, that obviously means that Hellions can morph into Hellbats. It's been an amazing Big Brain Bouts. Does Reynor have an answer for a whole bunch of Hellions that morph into Hellbats? Right now he's got 7 Queens, 3 Zerglings, so the answer would be no. But Reynor, his Queen Micro, oh, that's good. That is really, really, really good. What a beautiful concave on the side of Reynor. And ByuN kind of discouraged after taking so much damage on the medevac immediately that he doesn't even try. Reynor had 3 Zerglings and 7 Queens. But because the Queen positioning was so good and Reynor pushed out a lot of damage immediately on the medevac, ByuN is like, I probably shouldn't try this. Wow. I don't know what happened, D-Garbage, but it's all good, mate. I'd have to click on your name and read back. It is all good. I appreciate the kind words. Is ByuN French a bit cowardly done? Could have sent it. I also understand the fear. The medevac is often, if not always, the most important unit in this entire Hellbat attack. Because the medevac allows the longevity of the attack, allows it to just linger on and healing. And if you take so much damage on your medevac quickly, I understand that you feel it's probably not right to stick around because you know the queens can pick it up and then the Hellbats are going to be vulnerable. And ByuN, of course, does not see what we see. If ByuN would know that Reynor literally had no Roach War, no Baning Nest, 3 Zerglings and 7 Queens, oh, he'd be battling. But he does not have that kind of vision. Reynor's making a lot of units here, guys. Zergling count currently 35. 7 Roaches morphing into Ravagers. Reynor says, you know what, Roddy, it's been nice enough. I am just going to send it. I don't know, these maps that you're making me play on over here. Hellscape, what the hell is that? Well, we're on it. Does ByuN know? Based on this, boy, if he truly knew, he'd keep the Liberator at home.
Complete.
Just as W for ByuN. I think it's looking very good for ByuN, but not over yet. ByuN doesn't know how many units Reynor has built. Or maybe he does, but he hasn't even built a bunker. Depots are buying some time. This could be it. The best of 5 live on the line. That Liberator could potentially become very annoying in the main base. But I also think we could have maybe kept it at home, though. Reynor is hiding the amount of Zerglings he's got here. Lib does fly past the Spore. He's over the Spore. Kind of turns around on top of the Spore. Reynor needs to move the Spore. So far, that big attack, the explosive attack that we were looking for. Hello? So you're probably wondering how I ended up here. Record scratch. What the hell is that little guy doing over there? How did he do that? There is an imposter among us. He was just there to repair the Liberator. Reynor with a big circling run by. Now ByuN does raises the depot, but a lot of SUVs are stuck on the low ground. Army is kind of used on the other side of the map. Roaches, Queens, Ravages. Can Reynor hold and send us to game 5? ByuN is going very far away from his tanks. Now this time ByuN is absolutely not cowardly. He is embracing the battle. He is standing on top of the Zerg units, but he is taking so much damage at home. The Lings are going ham. A double depot? Does that make sense, guys? The double depot? That is a thing. That was not good enough for ByuN, and I think for the 3rd time tonight, what a night, we are going to game 5. It's unbelievable. Reynor, like a proper wolf, was patiently waiting in the shadows for the right opportunity to click all those links in, and ByuN saw the roaches, but they probably read it as like, this was fake aggression from Reynor. Reynor is macroing, he was just trying to scare me. Because Reynor never revealed those Zerglings to begin with. Wow, what a night. What a night. We did have one series that went 3-1, but if anything that was a surprising 3-1, right? Only 20% of the people thought that Trigger was going to beat Solar in that best of 5. And Trigger did beat Solar, 3-1 even. Now ByuN does still have 1-1, but what is he gonna do? 2 orbitals, 1-1. 5 racks. I know Terran is good and all, guys, but Reynor does temporarily sack this hatch. Probably feels that he's done so much damage. There's no need for him to take a bad fight and trying to save a hatchery that doesn't want to be saved. In the words of J. Cole, rather. Maybe in the name too. Who knows? That hatchery did not want to be saved, so Reynor did not save it. ByuN wants to do more, but Reynor has now bought enough time for his upgrades to come online. +1 missiles, +1 armor, link speed, road speed. Obviously link speed's been done for a while, but it's all good. Reynor could collapse on this army. And for one last time, give us a victory screen. And send us to game 5. Yeah, ByuN is omega all in. It's not even like, oh, is he committed here? No, ByuN is so freaking all in that he is not even going to wait for the end of this battle because he knows this is never going to go his way. What a beautiful display of patience on the side of Reynor, sending those Zerglings into the natural and potentially main base, but that got denied at a perfect moment right when ByuN went to the other side of the map. 3-2, 3-2, 3-1, and a 3-2. Have a bow, have a day, take a bow, tip your fedora. What a night! The closest of video games over here in the Big Brain Bouts. That is 5 more gifted subbies. I don't know if my friend Scuffle is still here, but it's all good. I'm just happy. I'm just happy we have a great night of games, guys. I love getting people excited over Starcraft. I love having fun. And sometimes you can have 3-2s, but it can also not be all that fun. But this has been a great night of games. 10 gifted subbies even. The man did not give 5, but 10. What a night. Final game is played on Errolholm. The matchmakers really cooked with this BBB. Yeah, we gave Bully a shot, but in the end, I decided to just take charge once more. So I asked Reynor how many games has he played on Errolholm. He said same as the previous one, referring to Hellscape, and he calls Moonwater Temu Ghost River. Honestly, we have to rename that map. Why call it Moonwater if you can call it Temu Ghost River? Mom, can we have Ghost River? We've got Ghost River at home. That's amazing. Love it. Good luck, amigo. You already won in my heart. Just as Clem what he thinks, 50-50. The world champ actually just came online. No, he's gone offline, sorry. Clem was online and he has gone offline. What time is it for the boys? Well, if it's 10:44 for me, Korea's +8. I'm gonna say either 5:45 or 6:45. I think, yeah, 5:45. 5:45 a.m. as we load into Errolholm. Where is Saro? In Pornainen, Finland. That is where he lives. I don't know, he might be watching. It's a little late for Yona. It's 1 hour later in Finland than it is for me. So it is midnight. Well, Yona is a big Starcraft fan. He's not just the GOAT, but he's a Starcraft fan and he will often watch games back. Either live or he will watch it back.
Final round. Fight!
Top right side of Errolholm. We are looking at the main base of the man who is probably looking around right now and he's like, oh, this map looks kind of pretty. Of Errolholm. Representing a Basilisk, our Italian stallion, the world champ of 2021. It is Reynor. In the bottom left side, we are looking at the main base of Shopify Rebellion's very own ByuN, the 2016 world champ. Takes 2 to tango. They have both made for an amazing series. Honestly, just fun. It's great stuff all around. A very memorable Big Brain Bout so far. Win, lose, or draw in this final game. I mean, draw would make it extra epic, but it's pretty cool when you organize 4 best of 5s and you get to see 19 games of StarCraft. Like that's pretty good, guys. Cannot be unhappy. Obviously, there were $500 on the line this Friday, like every single Friday. Basilisk puts out $500. If you guys love it, give some love to Basilisk, !Basilisk in the chat. You guys can give a follow to whatever social media you may use. There's a Blue Sky account as well that I have not added in yet. Any follows, any likes, any thumbs up, any words of appreciation are truly appreciated. That is all that Basilisk wants. We are not fundraising and not asking for anything. Just a little bit of love. Join the Discord server. !Discord. Anything is appreciated to hopefully allow me to continue giving out $500 on the Friday night for another 93 weeks. That's a long time. I don't know if I can do that. I'm getting older, but I can try. Slowly, please. My English only A2. You don't even have to listen. !Discord. It works. !Basilisk. It works. All of it works. It's a big deal, guys. I think for StarCraft 2, $500 every single Friday for just a couple of online individual series. not asking the players to show up in 20 different play days. Let's hope we can continue it for a long time. The button clicking is truly appreciated. Any form of love and support is appreciated. Of course, you guys can always follow my channel as well. This is where it happens every single Friday. Almost every single Friday. A big shout out to my man Indy Starcraft, who is covering the games over in Polish. Indy is a legend. Also helps out with the hosting. We love Indy. And whenever it's good enough for his taste, the French are a bit picky. TKL joins us as well. So big shout out to TKL and Indy. But above all, you guys can obviously always follow. Following is free. Subbing is not. Thank you to Invader for joining with the Prime. I appreciate it, mate. This is every single Friday. We've done it 93 Fridays in a row. Well, not in a row. Obviously, once in a while we miss, but almost every single Friday. I think on average 45 to 50 a year. That times 500 buckies that we give out every single Friday. And not every Friday do we have players like Reynor and ByuN. I try to spread the love. I try to invite some lesser top tier players, lesser successful players as well. So they too have stuff to look forward to. Try to start off with some lower MMR matches. Still good, but like 5,000 MMR. And then throughout the night, we always go better. Of course, you can invite the same Protoses at around 6k every single week. But I don't think that does a lot for the scene. I don't think that makes a lot of gamers happy. We try to please as many different video gamers out there. Cynical Death says that already over $50,000 has been awarded to the gamers. So a lot of reasons to show some love to my team. It's the Go team out there. Thank you to Sengui95. I appreciate it, matey. Rally points of ByuN guys are kind of all over the shop. These look like some rally points over here. We already had an SCV in the center of the map. That one got sent back. I think at this point we can finally see that this 5:45 AM video gaming is perhaps getting the best of our gamers. Yeah. I am so familiar with those rally points, but they happen to me at 2 p.m. or 4 p.m. or 7 p.m., you know. Do I plan something special for Big Brain Bouts number 100? Definitely do, but I've got no clue yet whatsoever. But I think for number 100, obviously we gotta do something. If we can do anything for 100 weeks, you gotta celebrate it. You gotta do something. I just don't know how yet. Obviously, you guys can count on Cero. We'll get that Yona guy to play some games. How does Basilisk make its money? The same as every other esports org out there, mate. We are no different in that regard. We try to work together with awesome players, awesome content, and then make sponsorships happen. Anything special for number 1000? Yeah, maybe at that point Reynor will be the caster. I know I wouldn't. I love Starcraft, guys, but I don't think I can do it for another 1,000 weeks. That'd be a little bit much. Already done it for like Lord knows how many weeks at this point. Another 1,000 is not doable for me. Cloak Banshees are getting a few shots off. One queen has gone down. Despite the messy rally points, it's not been that sloppy on the side of ByuN. He is very, very cautious with his units here. So a year has 50 weeks, so 10 years, like, what are we talking? 50, 500. Probably done, I don't know, like 800 weeks of StarCraft at this point. You probably do another few hundred, but not 900. No. My back is already killing me these days, guys. Whenever I stream for more than like 3 hours, I'm like, oh. It's not as easy as when I was 23, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can cast from my bed. Technically, that's how my journey in esports got started. A very, very long time ago, a young Dutch boy broke his leg in Austria during a winter sport. And while laying in bed, he could play all the video games in the world. And when you can play all the video games in the world, a lot of video games become very boring quickly. Except for one. And that game was Warcraft 3. And that is the reason why I'm still here right now. My love for esports came through Warcraft. My love for Warcraft came through me breaking my leg over in Austria. But I don't know if I really want to go full circle and go back to laying in bed. I think I'll pass. What was I doing in Austria? Skiing. Like most Dutch people. When I was young, I used to ski. If I ever lose my passion, break my leg, please don't. That was hell, man. When I had a cast from my ankle all the way up to my thigh and I had to lay in bed for 3 weeks. And I had to go to high school in a wheelchair. That was very sad. I'd say I would not wish that upon my worst enemy, but I kind of like to see Fear Dragon for a couple weeks. After that, obviously, recover, but a few weeks of us being able to troll Ravi in a wheelchair would be kind of funny. Wouldn't you walk away from this conversation, eh, Ravi? Text-to-speech in real life. Nothing permanent, guys. Just 2 or 3 weeks of returning the favor to Fear Dragon trolling us for all those years. We can troll him back. I used to be a rollerblader too, mate. I had rollerblades, I had roses. The Majestic 12. The best present I ever received in my life. Forever grateful to my mommy. Those white, beautiful Majestic 12 roses inline skates. Woo! Goated! Anybody who was born in 87, 88, 89 knows what I'm talking about. Who was a skater boy. Those were the ones. Kato was lame, mate. All about roses. And the Fifth Elements. Woo! Those were cool too. Hydra Lingbay with a love crisp thread on the side of Reynor. 10 minutes in, we have done a lot of hours of Starcraft yapping in the road. It's been an absolutely amazing series between these two. Both are exactly at 91 workers. Now, from a Zerg point of view, fine, cool. Yeah, okay, we work with that. 91 SCVs? Gonna be somewhat difficult maybe to win a couple fights. And he's still building SCVs. He is still building SCVs. That's rough. Now we're gonna lose medevacs and maybe replace losing these units with more SCVs. Where are they, by the way? I mean, to be fair, there's not even like crazy oversaturation happening. It's a little bit in 2 of the bases, but... Oh. One of the medevacs gets picked off. The other one seems to be rather stuck as well. ByuN does have a tiny Marine Marauder move out over here in the bottom right side. Casual 7 command centers. Can you believe it? That ByuN is just willing to dig in his heels deeply over here at 6 AM local time in Seoul. And be like, you know, I feel like my best chance of winning this best of 5 is to build 1 million planetaries and orbitals and sensor towers and liberators and ghosts. Let's just turn this into a 44-minute banger game 5. ByuN is nuts. I can guarantee you guys that Reynor is not planning for 25 minutes from now. Couple minutes is alright. He's rich. He's getting a couple of big upgrades online. He's dropping his Spire, fires up a few Vipers, and then our boy is gonna send it. Over and over and over again. Yeah, this game has been mega passive. That's why we're kind of talking about my start in esports, breaking my leg, winter sport, my beautiful inline skates when I was a cool teenager. But obviously that will not continue. Reynor does have a severe lack of experience on Arrowholm. He said he was as familiar with Arrowholm as he was with Hellscape and Tamu Ghost River. Which means he has never played on this map. I'm sure he's seen a couple games though. He does still watch streams. Even when Reynor is taking a tiny bit of a break from Starcraft, he's obviously always watching. He's making some mental notes. It's just a difference for him between entering tournament mode Reynor, where he's grinding and he's getting familiar with everything. Oh no, ByuN has a lot of experience on this map. This map has been in the map pool on several of the weeklies, European, American, maybe even the WADI TV weekly for a while. So ByuN has played this map probably 20, 30 times. But Reynor has seen it. If you're as good as Reynor mechanically, you don't need to play 100 games on this map to have a good feel. Whenever you guys read comments on the internet that StarCraft at the highest level is all about mechanics, it's not all about mechanics, but it's not wrong. Like, mechanics is 95% of it on this level. And Reynor obviously is as quick as they come and has a world-class understanding of how StarCraft 2 is meant to be played. And then the closer you get to big offline events where incredibly important best of ones could happen on certain maps, that's where like you can bust out the one-off strategy that you've been sitting on. But for a lot of it, for guys at this level, it is just pure speed. Speed and understanding. Lings and Banes connecting with a couple of the tanks. Hydra's working on one of the gazillion command centers out there. Single, like only one drone has gone down and 0 SCVs. I mean, we've had tier 3 Zerg. For the people who said that we didn't have any tier 3 Zerg, like we've had so much lurker play. We've obviously had a lot of Vipers. You can basically single it down to Ultras. We had a couple of great Aspires. We just didn't really get to see any Broodlords. I mean, Broodlords are going to be somewhat situational. It depends a little bit what we're playing against. Reynor with an absolute proper swarmy attack. Old school Zerg swarm. I think the way that Blizzard had it in mind over 2 decades ago when they started working on this game. Maybe 3 decades ago when they started working on Brood War. Who knows? ByuN forced to pick up a couple of these buy units stuck in the medevacs, sitting on a lot of money. Low factories in the middle of nowhere. And to be honest, like, you know what, if I've been playing till 6 AM, I really don't care if this game is gonna go on for another hour. I wanna win. And ByuN has probably identified that Reynor, even at 5, 6 AM, is not the kind of guy that you're just going to out-multitask with some bio-aggression. And if ByuN feels that his best opportunity to win a Game 5 against Reynor in these conditions is just by turtling it up, that is obviously what he's going to do. A lot of tanks, a lot of lips, a lot of sensor towers, and a lot of ghosts. Reynor obviously is fully aware of this and is going to do his absolute best in just finding non-stop trades from here on out, making them count. Unfortunately, the Hydras couldn't come down any of those medevacs. Few of the tanks here though are proper exposed, so that is -2 tanks. Expensive attacks here by Reynor, but I guess Reynor has just decided for himself he's allowed to have 4 bases, and that is it. I will not let him get a 5th. So the absolute fight here is over the 5th. Winner of the series always gets $150, the loser gets 50. So it's not a winner takes all scenario. It's also not quarterfinals of an online cup. They will both get something for playing. The winner gets 150. It's just a single series. They didn't have to play anything to qualify or get here. It's just invitational. Hey, you want to play one series? This is it. Lings, Banes, Hydras crashing into Hellbats, tanks, goals. Not, I want to say a bad fight for Reynor. It's expensive. But that's hello? Reynor's like, sorry. The property has already been sold, sir, in the previous round. And I was like, alright, then I'll just steal some of yours in the top left side. Reynor forced to abandon top left. We have seen Hydra dash more than once in this series. 4K in the bank for Reynor, who is winning the Basilisk Big Brain Bouts main event number 93. We got to see 19 out of the 20 potential StarCraft 2 games tonight. Who wins the last one? Triple digit Zergling numbers once more. 114 as we speak. And with 14 more on the way. 128. How many Zerglings is enough? I don't know. He's sending it. Well, Reynor is going to send it, and he's going to have to keep on sending it, and he's going to have to send it for a long time. Because ByuN is not ready to receive anything that he doesn't want to receive, so. Kind of forgot to land his orbiter here, maybe a little bit of a mistake. Neural Parasite? Hello. The Penguin Brothers. Shout out to you, Thermal. 5 Hellbats casually strolling into this bottom base. Killing a queen. A single Zergling pushing back 2 Hellbats. Ooh, 5 queens. I hope Reynor is paying attention. So much energy on these queens. It's not something that you want to donate to your opponent. 11 Hydras, 3 Vipers, and 114 Lings. Very few Banelings at the moment. Maybe Reynor feels that against an ultra siege tank heavy ByuN, Banelings are just not the way. There are 14 tanks on the side of ByuN. Also 12 Hellbats though. With Blue Flame. That's kind of the problem, right? I understand that Reynor doesn't want to have too many Banes against all these tanks. But against the Hellbats, just Zerglings, can they cut it? I don't know. Reynor feels like he sees a tiny opening here. It's not bad. Couple Lings getting on top of the tanks. 3 or 4 tanks falling rather quickly. Another 20-minute game between Reynor and ByuN. Now this one definitely had the slowest start of all of them, I agree. The other games I think they were kind of nuts from the very get-go. Because a few of the ducks do land, man. The Hellbats are so goated. Reddit and Twitch chat was right all along, guys. Just more. Oh, why is it lagging? Hey guys, this is unfortunately where yesterday night my computer crashed. Or at least it was Starcraft that crashed, but I just couldn't close it for the life of me. Tried everything, Twitch tech support, and none of it helped. It was literally 6:45 a.m. in the morning for the gamers. I didn't want to ask them to wait 10-15 minutes for it to be solved. So we just continued the game, and I did watch it, but I watched it through indie stream. And I figured that would make kind of a bad viewing experience for you guys. A, there is Polish, B, there is a search bar on the top of my screen. So I suggested to Basilisk that I am just going to do something that I basically have never done in my life, and that is cast a game that I already know the outcome of. Obviously, everything is always live on the Friday night, but this is the best we can do. It was such a fun series. It was such a great Big Brain Bouts, and it'd be a real shame if the VOD is kind of ruined by tech issues, missing 7 minutes, because that's basically how long it all took. And yeah, it is what it is. Let's go ahead and hop on into it, and let's continue the journey of Game 5. Reynor, ByuN. This is basically where I disconnected, and let's go. So we are 20 minutes in, and this is obviously a little bit strange because A, I very often talk to the chat whenever I'm live on Twitch. That is what I enjoy. That is how I love watching Starcraft. And B, what I love the most is never really knowing what's going to happen. Now at this point, I do know what's going to happen as I'm recording this on the Saturday morning after the Friday. But I'm gonna try to hide it to the best of my abilities, just in case any of you guys did not see this live on Twitch and you're watching it for the first time on YouTube. I understand that this is far from optimal and this is a bit awkward, but it's technology, guys. We do our best. We've done 93 Big Brain Bouts. Very rarely does something go wrong, and yesterday that was just a very unfortunate crash. We did our absolute best. There were obviously ways where I could have told the players, don't continue, wait for me to come back, let me rejoin the game, and then it would have all been live and authentic. But I think at one point you also have to just respect the players. It's already amazing that they were gaming at 6:45. So I told them, just continue and I'll sort it out. And here we are, 21 minutes into this epic best of 5 of Reynor and ByuN. As a couple of the queens of Reynor go a bit too far forward. We are starting to reach these end game scenarios. Now obviously at this point there's so much money in the bank, so I wouldn't quite call it like, oh, we are coming down to the wire, this is it, we have to spend all of our money one time and one time only. No, there are plenty of resources left, there are bases to fight over, but 21 minutes in, plenty of circles, lots of tanks, lots of lips, a lot of blue flame hellbats. These games are obviously always kind of cool and unique, where ByuN opens up with all the Marines, and you're looking at a relatively standard bio game, but slowly but steady, especially when the Terran players truly dig in their heels, it almost kind of becomes mech, right? In a way where it's like, okay, tanks, lips, Thors, and then the only bio we're truly walking around with is mostly a whole bunch of ghosts. Like at this point, ByuN's got 1 Marine, 1 Marauder. I don't think we could truly call that a bio playstyle anymore. Yesterday night, throughout the games, a lot of people mentioned the lack of hive-tech units. Even if we have very quick hive-techs on the side of Reynor, not a lot of lurker play, not a lot of ultras, if any, and also very few brutes. I think Zero is almost like the only Zerg at the moment that still kind of likes the Broodlord and makes it quite often in different matchups, still a bit of a believer. I know Reynor is not a big fan of this Ferrari Broodlord, as some people like to call it on the interwebs. It is very fast, but it does way less damage than in the past, and the Broodlings also disappear a lot quicker, which just makes the Broodlord overall a lot weaker. Mobility is awesome, but obviously damage and that longevity of a lot of Broodlings on the ground messing your opponent up is something that a lot of Zergies do miss. We are rounding up the upgrades, +3 melee done, +3 missile attacks done. As a late game TVZ can be the complete opposite of sometimes the early stages of a TVZ, where it's all about non-stop trading, battling, multitasking, I drop, you drop. It's not that ByuN wouldn't like to continue dropping, it's not that ByuN wouldn't like to flex his macro and multitasking muscle. This is at this point, Reynor's got a lot of vision, Reynor's got a lot of static defenses, and ByuN doesn't really believe in putting a lot of supply into Marines and Marauders to then drop and do what? Like maybe we kill one production facility. Our opponent is rich, just gonna rebuild it. It's gonna cost ByuN more than it costs Reynor. ByuN knows that, and that's why he has truly slowed this game down. And he's focusing a lot more right now on the tanks, on the Ghosts, on the Thors, and going for that slow and methodical approach. What goes for ByuN absolutely goes for Reynor too. Reynor, of course, loves to be aggressive, loves run-bys, but how do you run by when there are planetaries everywhere? Casual 4 tanks and a PF and a sensor tower defending a mined-out third base. Yeah, there's not a whole lot for Reynor to do either in the speed department. He knows that, so he is just gathering as many resources as he can. And we're gonna take it slow and steady for a little bit here in Game 5. Big Brain Bouts 93. The 19 out of the 20 games were played. It was a very successful Friday evening over at the Twitch channel, I'd say. Starcraft fans had fun, the players had fun, and I had a great time, as Reynor is gonna drop a couple of lightning clouds. Of course, abducts sometimes allow you to get these very safe kills, where you don't lose anything. But the blinding clouds and just running in deep, that is gonna often net you a little bit more than individually abducting a tank or 2 tanks. And it comes down a lot to how rich your opponent is. If we are in these ultra late game, end game scenarios where every single unit counts, then it makes more sense to prioritize abduct a little bit more often. As every unit you pick off is a unit that will most likely not come back. It's way too early for that right now. Reynor knows that, so he's looking for slightly bigger victories than an individual abduct here or there. The Thor is a little bit ambitious. Reynor is going to surround it with the Lings and Bangs. Should finish it off. Medevac could have perhaps saved it. And again, it's a low HP Medevac. So we continue to battle over one of these last bases on the top side of the map with resources. Earlier I said there are plenty of resources left, but hey, 4 or 5 minutes go by. They were both very high in the worker department once upon a time. It's a little less. You look at this base, what is this? 400, 500, overall 1,000 minerals. It's really not all that sexy. This one I think has the most amount of resources left. The base at 6 o'clock. ByuN knows that, Reynor knows that, and that's why we're fighting over it. Spine gets a few pokes off. ByuN just waiting for advanced ballistics. Honestly, kind of late, right? For how long we've had Liberators on the field. And it may not have been his main focus. Like, he only has 3 right now. He's got 2 more on the way. Or 2 of them have gone down. And he's got 3 left. Clearly prioritized the Ghost, the tanks, and the Thors. Reynor looks at his army and probably feels, yeah, that's not something I can really run into. That tank line is deep. There is a PF in the back line as well. That's going to be so damn good against Zerglings. So Reynor says, alright, if you're a slow and powerful army, that immobile army is all the way to the bottom side of the map, I'll go for this top left side base, and that is minus 20 SCVs real quick, and a couple orbitals. And orbitals obviously do always matter in the late game scenarios too. With stuff like Burrowed Banelings, and don't forget, Infestors. Infestors can borrow. They can always look for a great fungal. They can potentially get a couple of game-changing neurals as well down the line. Three Thors, 4 lips on the way for ByuN, as ByuN is forced to lift a few more orbitals up. At this point, we are looking at 8 orbital commands. So even if ByuN loses 1 or 2, that stings a little. It's a tiny bit annoying, but it's not really going to change all that much. The man has enough energy at this point to reveal the entirety of Erholm. Really enjoyed the map pool we used today, by the way. Even if Reynor... yesterday. You guys know what I mean. Even if Reynor was not a very big fan of Moonwater. Understandably so. Tough map, I think, for Zerg against world-class Terrans. It is fun for us to just look at some of these different maps. I think we've all seen enough Neon Violet Square. We've all seen enough King's Cove and Abyssal Reef. Just because those are the maps that are still in the ladder map pool. They're not a part of any circuit right now. They're not a part of any World Championship. It makes very little sense to me to be playing on those maps in fun online tournaments. Whether that's the Monday Night Weekly or the Big Brain Bouts on the Friday evening. I think a lot of players agree. There's obviously some try-hard, ultra, I ladder and that's all I do kind of video gamers out there. And they will say like, can we please just use the ladder map? Most gamers also understand that things need to stay fun, need to stay fresh, and playing on the same maps that we were playing on in the year 2017, 18, 19 doesn't make a whole lot of sense in 2025, especially not when we've got so many awesome map makers out there that bless us each and every single TOMC season with a few very fine creations. And Aderholm is an excellent map, if you ask me. It can obviously be a bit campy at one point, because things can be somewhat choked up in the center, but this has been fun. And Hellscape, you guys know I love it. Moonwater, you know, to play on it, to watch a couple games, not too bad. No, I'm not a Zerg player, but well, obviously just keep monitoring how all these maps do and how much the game is like it. A Dark Lens on the Thor gets surrounded immediately by the Brooklings. Units lost resource tab, something that I haven't taken a look at ever since I started re-recording this. Right now, Reynor has lost around 12,500 resources more. That's a serious amount. It's not a I can never win this game kind of amount. If we're looking at Zerg already way too early, losing 20 or 25,000 more, then it's most likely not going anywhere. Reynor being down 12-13 in a 29-minute game. It's not ideal. It means that he hasn't been able to take the best fights ever. But he's obviously more than competitive in this game. He has been mining a whole lot more throughout the last 10 minutes. So that also makes it a little more acceptable to lose a few more resources than your opponent. Broodlord's doing their best finding a tank. But ByuN and his terrifying army of 6 ghosts at the moment, honestly not as many as I thought. He's gonna march forward, lands a few snipes, has landed an EMP as well on a lot of these infestors. And Reynor wondering if he can find a fantastic fight on creep or on the edge of creep just to go get full advantage. That speed boost that all these Zerg units do get on creep. Infestor sharking around. Reynor has to be very cautious here, but same goes for ByuN. It's so nice on the side of ByuN that he still has a couple of Hellbats in the mix. Because without Hellbats, guys, yeah, Thors are tanky, Ghosts are tanky. But if 100, I mean, oh my goodness, 177 Zerglings. If that surrounds your mech Ghost army, it's going to melt. But if you just have 6, 8, 10 Blue Flame Hellbats in the mix, it's the Zerglings that melt. There's really nothing better right now. I mean, maybe a couple of fantastic Widowmine shots, right? We've seen a few of those throughout this best of 5. But there really is a very little better than a bunch of Blue Flame Hellbats. ByuN throws down a scan, sees that Reynor has taken control of this top left side base. The base that once upon a time belonged to ByuN. Around 1,400 gas left. That's about it. 1,000 in one assimilated, 300 in the other. And some change. Ooh, that's a lot of drones. Obviously losing more and more workers. If you're in a 30-minute game, it's alright. At this point, there isn't really a whole lot left to mine, right? Grand total of 1,100 minerals in the bottom right side. This base obviously had the most amount of resources left. Right now, Reynor has a much bigger mineral bank. We can see that over here. Closing in on 7k with 6k gas. He fires up a few more Corruptors. At this point, these guys have been in-game against each other for, I think, very close to 2 hours. A couple of 20-minute games and a 31-minute game 5. Series started at 4 AM over in Korea. Or was it? No, I'm second guessing my time zones. 6 for me. Yeah, I think that's about right. 8, 9. It was either 5:45 or 6:45 at this point. I think it was even 6:45. Now, of course, they had a couple days to get ready. They knew on, I think, Tuesday or even Monday already that this is the match that I would have loved to see. ByuN told me earlier, after playing in the Big Brain Bouts last time, whenever you need someone, I'm done. He's like, I don't care about the time, I can always play. Reynor, I think, enjoys it a little bit less, but Reynor obviously knows as well. Like, if I haven't played in anything in over 2 months, it is time to show the world a couple Reynor video games. And he accepted, even if he wasn't in love with the starting time. Had a few days to get ready, but even when you're ready for, you know, a late night, or maybe you took a little bit of a nap, at one point, it's gotta get to you. I've been a gamer for a very long time, for as long as I can remember at this point. And I've had plenty of late nights, I've had plenty of sessions where I was gaming until the sun would rise. But if you're playing at this level, 2.5 hours, starting at 4 AM, going all the way to 7, it's going to be very, very draining. And it's going to be hard to make all the correct choices at this point. 12 infestors, only a single Viper. The Vipers have been pretty awesome throughout this best of 5, and I really got to give it to Reynor. I think he's done a tremendous job in keeping these alive. It is so easy to send it as a Zerg and try to be the swarm, overwhelm your opponent, and then the Vipers, they just kind of go derpy mode at one point. They're just like, I'm the hero, I have no more energy, and they park above a missile turret, or a Ghost lands a few snipes. I really think throughout this best of 5, Reynor has showed us that when it comes to his Viper control, he's still among the very best. I take a look at my second monitor very often, because that's normally where I interact with Twitch chat, and I'm curious what the video gamers out there are saying, but I'm all alone over here, guys. It is a Saturday morning over in beautiful South London. It is very sunny, and nobody knows that I'm even doing this. I did miss a large portion of the game yesterday because of the issues and trying to fix it as quickly as possible. At this point I definitely was back, but my viewing experience was far from optimal, as I was basically watching a Polish stream. Shout out to my man Indy, who's always here to make sure that the gamers can get the lobbies going as quickly as possible, and obviously provide entertainment for all of the Polish Starcraft fans out there. So I think at this point I have seen it all, but I don't really remember everything. My head was spinning a little bit. The Fridays were very long for me as well. If they start at 8 AM, I don't necessarily remember what's happening at 10:45 in the morning, or 10:30. Evening, rather. A solid 14, 15 hours later. What I do know is that this game gets crazy. Reynor is trying to just soften up these mech units. Once you start entering the proper late game, every single fungal obviously matters. Because ByuN doesn't really want to repair his units over and over again, but you also don't want to start a game-deciding fight in 2-3 minutes with a bunch of Thors that are at 100 HP, 200 HP, whatever. Come up with a random number. No, you want to start with a very healthy army and have as much HP as possible. But that of course means that every time Reynor does some spell casting, ByuN is forced to bring over some SCVs to repair it. It is funny that right now we are very focused on the bottom right side. It's really not that important. Like, yeah, there's a little bit of gas left and there is a couple hundred minerals left. But if you look at the banks right now, you think that the right engagement is going to be so much more important than fighting over the final bits of resources. This one still has a bit more perhaps. But Reynor also knows that it is so damn difficult to attack into this. 4 or 5 liberators on top of each other. Reynor throws a fungal from downtown. But unlike Steph Curry, Reynor does not always hit. ByuN is, by the looks of it, kind of going for it, as he does eat a fungal or two above the spores, though. That is difficult, and that is a crazy amount of Zerglings from Reynor coming in, as a couple of the Hellbats went perhaps too far forward. What a fight by Reynor, as he drops the Neurals on the Thors as well. ByuN completely blindsided. Was not expecting that amount of Zerglings to still show up. Was focused on the spellcasters, on the Broodlords, on the Spore Crawlers that were obviously making his progress a little bit more difficult there. What an amazing fight by Reynor. That went about as good as any fight could have gone. Now I could go back into the replay and see how the units lost resource step swung there, but I'm not going to do that. I think we can all agree that that was an amazing fight by Reynor, who's now taken a 60 army supply lead. And then the big question is, Reynor, can we go for it? Can we send it? Pedal to the metal. Can we go to the other side of the map and never look back against this army, guys? Honestly, I kind of believe. I know tanks are terrifying. I know planetaries are annoying, but That is a really big army supply advantage that Reynor currently has. 167 against 110. Both players at this point broke as a joke. Very, very little left to mine. We're looking at, yeah, legit, the last 3 mineral patches, I'd say. Grand total of 600 minerals left here on Arrowholm. And that is it. Did Reynor forget any mineral patches anywhere? Nope. This is literally it, guys. We are going to mine out every single mineral on Arrowholm. If you guys ever wonder how long would that take on average in a crazy TVC with a lot of trading and a lot of battles non-stop, a couple of hatcheries going down, 2 command centers going down as well, and both players losing a combined 112 drones. The answer is, I guess, 37 minutes. This patch gone, and this is the absolute last patch. 155 minerals left. Reynor obviously excited after how good that previous fight was, looking for more. With the amount of time that Reynor gave ByuN, kind of feels that at this point it's going to be a lot harder than it was a little while ago. Still has a 40-50 army supply advantage, so that part is good. We've even turned it into 60 after a tiny bit of spell casting. Reynor does not want to go up this ramp, and I guess that kind of makes sense. It's only orbitals here. Would it make sense, guys, for Reynor to maybe rotate his army all the way to the center left side of this map and attack what was once upon a time the 4th? I don't know. Like, there isn't really a real reason, right, to be running up this ramp. What are we going to fight over? The last 134 gas. That is truly it, I think, once and for all. The minerals have been mined out. All the refineries and extractors have been mined out. Or the Vespian guys, as we can call them. This is literally it. So we don't really have to fight. This is naturally where maybe you think that a game deciding fight is going to take place, but there really is nothing left to mine. Reynor has gone through that entire mineral bank. Has got 102 Zerglings left. Has lost 967 Zerglings. I almost feel that Reynor is truly the guy that I will always think of when it comes to ZVTs, where the Zerg has lost over 1,000 Zerglings. I remember many years ago when I saw it for the first time in a Reynor versus Clem game, and I'm like, oh my god, 1,000 Zerglings. And at this point, I wouldn't have seen, say I've seen it hundreds of times, but it's not the first or the last for Reynor, we know that much. ByuN hasn't really lost like a crazy amount of anything. You could say that the 26 tanks is a very serious number, but we've all seen that. 10 Thors, of course, a very serious number, but we've seen that too. 36 Hellbats is quite unique. This goes to show how much ByuN really believes in the power of the Hellbat in the mid game and the late game, rather than just a Hellbat surprise build and that is it. Now, since obviously the beginning of this game was yesterday evening, and that was the end of a very long day for me, I kind of even forgot how we kicked things off on Arrowholm. I don't even know how we got into this 20-minute game. I didn't go over all of it. What I do know is that yesterday was a wild night of video games, and we had a lot of fun watching it live. I was very happy. Did he just drop a mule? Kind of funny. Very happy with the performance of the game as overall. The lower lower MMR matches in the beginning of the night, even though like 5-2 is not low MMR, right? Second match was 5,500, 5,600. That is not particularly low either. But of course, Solar Trigger is exceptionally high level, and ByuN Reynor is exceptionally high level. After 40 minutes into game 5, ByuN is offering Reynor a draw because he's like, you know what, I don't really want to step on creep. Reynor is laughing, and Reynor says, nah, I'm sorry, mate. Maybe if this is EWC Grand Finals Game 9, I'll consider it, but if it's 7 AM on the morning for an online best of 5, of course it's Big Brain Bouts, we want to win. But Reynor says, no. This has been enough video gaming till the early hours. The sun is rising over in Seoul. Reynor says, let's battle. On top of that, this is not really the ultimate draw scenario yet, because there's so much micro potential, right? We can land fungals, we can abduct, we can snipe. Sometimes draw scenarios appear when there's just like not really any choice besides the obvious wrong ones. Here there is still potential on both sides. Reynor lends an abduct, lends a neural.
Not the prettiest fight by Reynor. Lost a lot of Zerglings, guys, trying to get up this ramp. You'd almost think that Reynor would truly benefit from fighting literally anywhere but here. It did work out earlier, to be fair, when all those Zerglings came in, surprisingly from the top left. ByuN, the man who offered a draw, now takes an army supply lead, 62 against 52. It is 9 girls, 2 Thors, 1 Viking and a Liberator against 8 Infestors, 8 Hydras, 2 Corruptors and a Broodlord. I mean, what a game, and what a silly and crazy ending to a best of 5. Where $200 were on the line, the winner gets $150, the loser gets 50. Queen is low on HP, will move. ByuN is even pulling the SCVs. Is this then it? ByuN, the man who was willing to settle for a draw, now feels very confident after that last fight. Units lost resource stab, a 21,000 resource difference. Reynor has some energy on the Infestors. It is definitely not a crazy amount of energy. As the armies are flirting with each other, there are still, how many command centers left? Can't find what I'm looking for. 7. Still 7 orbitals left. Not command centers, but I guess they're both. And that means that ByuN should have energy to scan for days. The Queen is probably not enjoying this journey. He's like, guys, wait for me. I'm all for playing some cat and mouse over here, and I'm all for running away until we've got a better shot, but... Reynor now offering the fight after 43 minutes, and ByuN says no. These guys have had a best of 5 that is... gone way past the 2-hour mark of pure in-game time. Then not to mention a little break in between the games. Obviously the pause that we had as well with me disconnecting, but we kept that rather short because I really didn't want to drag that one out. I just told Indy, go ahead, go for it, mate. And Reynor says, well, if you don't want to fight, what are we going to do then? And ByuN says, wait, I am waiting for scan energy. Man's got 7 orbitals, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1 even in the absolute middle of nowhere. Just in case he loses the fight. If Reynor, who obviously has no more money left. Well, he's got a crazy amount of gas, but he's got no minerals. If Reynor would take that next fight, guys, and he would lose the 2 Corruptors, that's where you start talking about draws. If Reynor is not capable... Wait, there's gas left, by the way. I was like, am I crazy or do I see these numbers go up? Apparently there's a little bit of gas left, but what are we going to do with it? We have no minerals. Absolutely 0 minerals. This is where I often think, would like some sort of a salvage mechanic in StarCraft 2 make sense? Where, you know, at least there is still often an option. And rather, if I think back of the RTS that I grew up with, Command and Conquer, Red Alert, you could sell buildings, right? Get some money back. In Warcraft 3, you can sell items and you can get some money back and still make some stuff happen. I love how ByuN said, no, I don't want to fight after 45 minutes, but what I will do is throw down some scans. As you guys can see, this game has now gone on for so long that there is a 0 in front of the clock. This has to do with the first 6-7 years of StarCraft, or however long it was. A second in StarCraft was actually not a real second. The in-game clock went a lot quicker than the actual seconds, and had to do with the game speed. Instead of normal, you had faster and fastest, but a second was set to normal. But obviously we all played StarCraft at the fastest game mode, so the clock technically didn't make that much sense, even though it was still a reference for upgrades and timings and expense, etc. They fixed that at one point, but that is why if the game is now, I think, for 42 minutes and 40 seconds, something along those lines, don't know the exact number, the 0 suddenly appears in front of the clock. Which means that with the old game clock, we would have been in-game for an hour. But obviously they adjusted that eventually. Which I say makes sense, because a second being an actual second and a minute being a minute. Yeah, I can get behind that, guys. Makes some sense to me. ByuN apparently is happy with the extra time that he got to get some extra energy on his orbitals, even though he's still scanning around. Obviously, both players at this point know that Game 5, this entire series, all comes down to this. It is that simple. I'm moving my armrest. I don't know why I'm doing that. Now I'm going to have a meltdown again the next time I play video games. I am very, very picky. Everything needs to be perfect. And it's been a long time since I felt perfect in a game of StarCraft. And I'm sure that goes for these two guys as well. ByuN also wants to make sure everything is perfect, so why not bring some extra production facilities? You're never going to use them anyway. Even the last few remaining boys, the SCVs, are in the mix as well. 9 goals. Is it possible for Reynor? Down 10 supply. As Reynor once more is like, alright mate, it is really time to pick a fight. ByuN says, okay. Alright, we have found an agreement. ByuN says, wait, not again, ByuN. You already bought some time. You got some extra energy. Doesn't really change anything taking out these hatches. That is truly for the statistics. We can now say that 9 hatcheries have gone down. Reynor says, go middle, 1v1. What does 1v1 mean? Does it mean that we're going to send out our best unit? You know, does the rest stay at home? Are we only sending out the captains? Because ByuN is going to say, if it truly comes down to a 1 unit fight, we'll send out the Thor. And I don't know what Reynor could send out, but nothing that's going to be the Thor in a 1-on-1 fight. I know that much. Oh my goodness. ByuN throws down a scan and says, alright, I'm all for fighting in the middle, but I don't want to fight on creep or near creep. Reynor pointing out that he has ghosts. That is true, Reynor. He's got plenty of them. 9 of them in total. A 48-minute game. The ending of a ridiculous night of video gaming at the Big Brain Bouts. Even if I'm re-recording this on the Saturday morning. Truly the first, guys, in 93 weeks that we do anything on a different day for the Big Brain Bouts. Well, we did postpone some series, but those were always live. You guys catch my drift. Armies are dangerously close to each other. ByuN, I think, fired an EMP or two, but didn't really connect in a way. Reynor says go. Is this it? For all the marbles. One of the longer best of 5s that I've seen in a little while, especially when it comes to Legacy of the Void. What a start to the final fight for ByuN. Snipes an Infestor. Reynor does land a Neuro on one of the tanks. Lands a Fungo on a Ghost. Lands a bigger Fungo on the entire army. ByuN is actually losing a lot of units rather quickly. The 2 Corruptors, those are so important. Otherwise, we could truly get a draw. Are still alive. ByuN throws down a scan. Still 3 Broodlords in the mix. How many ghosts remain? 3. I don't really see them. Make it 2. Make it 1. 1 goes for ByuN. Is it still Reynor then in the very end as the Corruptors go forward? A very low HP medevac saves the Thor. 1 Liberator auto attack is going to shoot at the Broodlords. This entire game comes down to these final units, and it's the Ghost and the Thor and the Liberator that gun down the Brutes. And that means Reynor is now down to 1 Infestor and 2 Corruptors, and I think it is safe to say that he can no longer win that. Oh my goodness, did that get close, guys? Because obviously the tank doesn't really matter. If the Broodlord would have been able to kill that Thor, if the Corruptors kill that medevac, and the Ghost is suddenly in trouble, it could have still been Reynor, but in the end, after 49 minutes and 15 seconds, it is the world champ of 2016, Shopify Rebellion's ByuN, that wins the main event of the Big Brain Bout 93. Alright guys, as I said before, this is re-recorded on a Saturday morning. I missed 7-8 minutes of the game yesterday, eventually joined again. Just did not want to force the players to wait for me. The tech issue was really weird. I mean, I went over it yesterday and I don't want to do tech solving over here. Either way, I thought that the ending was fun. The series was so fun, and giving you guys a VOD where A, you're missing 7 minutes, and B, I am listening to indie, so there is Polish commentary, and I am watching a stream, and then it was a bit derpy. I feel like that would just be a very bad viewing experience for the few guys out there that love watching this kind of stuff back on YouTube. So I told Basilisk, you know what, I'll just do something that I don't think I've literally done in over 10 years, and that is cast a game that I already know the outcome of. But I thought maybe it would make things a tiny bit better. It's not my favorite. I love the live experience. I love not knowing what's going to happen. I love to be surprised. But hey, I still think this was better than nothing. So, did my best. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Overall, it was an amazing Big Brain Bouts. And we'll probably be back next Friday with more StarCraft 2 on the Friday night. Take care.